Hello, hello. Good afternoon. How you guys doing? Sarah Boone sentencing. Oh my God. It's a big deal. Sarah Boone, woman from hell. Sentencing. First of all, I want to ask the guys. Ladies, you're going to have to sit aside for a minute. There's not many guys in the chat, but I just want to ask the guys. Who would agree to get in a suitcase and lock themselves inside? You're dating Sarah Boone. She hates you. And honey, get inside. Who would get inside a suitcase? Right? Honey, trust me, baby. Get inside. Is there? I don't know if there's any guys in the chat. I want to know. Who would get in the suitcase with this psychopath? Right? I'm not trying to crap on the guy because I feel bad for this happening, but because I was talking to my guy friend about Wilson said any men here. I don't think there's any men in the chat. Because I talked to my friend Sylvia about this. I was like, bro, like, would you let a chick yeah, get inside a suitcase. I'll let you out. But get inside, honey. Right? I think most men would be like, fuck no. Yo, boo, like, good luck getting my fat ass in the suitcase. Well, that's the thing. He was he was kind of like, I guess he was a petite
Ruler
guy.
minus $4.99. Good luck getting my fat in that suitcase.
It's so funny to hear the talk. By the way, Buller, if you haven't seen it, I went to war last night with the Karen Reed people. So if you haven't checked it out, I got suspended. My Twitter account is currently suspended until I think they said like 8 hours or something. I don't know, 6 hours, 8 hours. Let me see what the time left on my account. The free speech platform. You're locked. Your account is locked. Damn. Elon Musk. I'm restricted right now on Twitter. I can't say nothing. It's been tough. That I can't say anything, but anyway, yeah. So Sarah Boone, her sentencing is coming up, and let me look it up again. I forgot. She's facing, I thought it was like 16 years to life, but let me just confirm. Sarah Boone sentencing. What is she facing? I forgot. I don't know. Murder conviction. Okay. Boone was found guilty of leaving her boyfriend to die, zipped up inside a suitcase for about 11 hours. Bro, this chick is fucking diabolical. Not only that, she recorded it. If you didn't see it, like she didn't even remember recording it. They were interrogating her, and no, I didn't do it. No, I didn't do it. No. Okay, well here's the video. They have literal video of her talking shit to the guy while he was suffocating, and he's begging for his life. And she's, no, I didn't do that. No. There's video of the whole thing. It's crazy.
Convicted murderer Sarah Boone faces sentencing after leaving her boyfriend to suffocate inside of a suitcase.
Yeah.
He's in the suitcase still.
There are multiple domestic violence incidents.
You two hitting each other.
Sarah. That's my name. Don't wear it up.
He's telling you, Sarah, I can't breathe.
George Torres locked inside of a suitcase.
Both of them did have issues and stuff. That's true. Like they had a lot of problems in their relationship.
Case begging for help.
I thought he was okay.
The Suitcase Murder Sentencing. Live coverage Monday morning, 8, 7 Central on Court TV.
I just couldn't see myself like, yes, baby, lock me up in the suitcase. I couldn't see myself like agreeing to those terms. You know, even in my younger days, or partying, I could never, lock me up. That's crazy. That's so wild. And I'm unfortunate the guy died the way he died. That's a horrible way to die, I guess, because like he suffocated, he couldn't breathe, he's in a suitcase, and this chick is recording him, laughing at him, mocking him, you know, like it's horrible. By the way, the other thing too, if you haven't seen it, I posted a new video on Hannah Kobayashi. I hope did I spell the title right? I think I did. Kobayashi. I don't know if I spelled it right. The last video I did. Damn. Kobayashi. Yeah, I spelled it right. Okay. No. I think I spelled it wrong. Oh, no. Hannah. I think the last name I spelled wrong. I think I spelled her last name wrong by accident. Hannah, while we wait, because the sentencing is starting soon. While you wait, Hannah Kobayashi. I don't know how I feel about this story. Quite a few developments. Check it out. I mean, I'll play a little bit of it right now because we're waiting. I want to know in the comment section what you guys think. They're saying that Hannah allegedly was spotted last night in Venice Beach, California. I've been there before. CCTV at V Hotel caught her walk by tonight wearing a black mask and gray clothing. All right. And we're going to watch a video, but here's a still image. JLR posted this. And the other weird thing before we get into the video is that her family, Hannah's family that runs a Facebook page, they're now going to close the Facebook page down. The family has been faced with the difficult decision to Find Hannah page from Facebook. That's just weird to me. While Sydney and her mother believe the greater majority of individuals on this page genuinely care and are interested in helping. I like the name Sleep with One Eye Open. Why can't I see Mel? I was actually still getting my clothes on. I took a quick shower before the stream. I was putting on this Christmas outfit, kind of, but I don't know. I might get on video. Carly Russell 2.0. Yeah, so, some people, I don't know. I think it's really strange. Like, there's a lot of strange things about the story. The father, he's estranged from his daughter, but her father, in his head, thought, you know what? Let me throw myself off of this building in the middle of searching for my daughter. I'm going to chuck myself off of this building because that's going to bring some type of solution. That was really weird. It was weird as fuck. And then the family, after the supposed sighting last night, naked stream. After the supposed sighting last night, the family is like, you know what? We're going to shut down the Facebook page. We're going to, the page that is being used to help find Hannah, the person we're concerned about, we're going to shut it down now. So they shut down, I guess they're shutting it down, the Facebook page. Now they claim that they were getting threats. Okay, look, as recent as yesterday, there were threats against their lives. And I thought this was weird too, the way they worded this, and the lives of their small children. Children, the assumption is that they're small. Why do we have to have this redundant wordage, right? The way they worded this, they're small children. Well, yeah, children typically are small, but why do you have to, I don't know. Why is that a highlight? But I thought it was really weird because honestly, if it was me, and God forbid, I hope I'm not ever in that situation, but if it was my daughter missing, I'm not going to give a fuck about the death threat, supposed death threats. I'm getting death threats. I don't believe there are, but they're saying they are. well, let me stop searching for my missing kid because I'm getting death threats. What? How does that make sense? It doesn't. It just doesn't make sense. But that's the reason they're giving that they're shutting down the page. Find Hannah. The negativity and attacks on their family have become more than they can bear. As recent as yesterday, there were threats against their lives. I don't believe that. And the lives of their small children. I don't for a second believe that. I think it's interesting that like there's this sighting and stuff. And like I said, even police, there's an article that came out. Let me see if I can find the article. There's an article that came out. The police said that she voluntarily left, that she voluntarily missed the flight. Right. Okay. Because a lot of people are putting this whole conspiracy, the Illuminati, and she's held against her will. I mean, at some point, maybe something she could have encountered something, but LAPD searching for Hannah. Detectives have determined the Maui woman intentionally missed the connecting flight. So I don't think she wants to be found. I think she wants to be left alone. And now the family, the dad jumps off a building, parking garage, and now the family that's searching for her says, you know what? We're going to shut down the Facebook group. All right. This has prompted them to make formal reports to the FBI and make the difficult decision to remove this page. So they're going to take down the whole page that was there to help find Hannah. Okay. The family will continue to rely on the private professionals and legal counsel to assist their efforts moving forward. To those of damn, is that true, Julie? Julie in the chat said, well, the family doesn't need any more money. They made over $500,000. Is that how much it got? And they didn't even put up an award for Hannah. And they set up a GoFundMe for her father. And they raised $8,000. I didn't know that. I didn't know the amounts. Oh my God. Yeah, that's crazy. Of you who graciously donated to the family's GoFundMe, rest assured that Sydney is being fiscally responsible with those funds and utilize, and that's the part that they're saying too, like, oh, she's being fiscally responsible with the funds, because there were some people that donated and they're upset, every dime to bring Hannah to safety and lay her father to rest. Now, some people that donated, I didn't donate, so I don't have not anything I can say, but some people that donated don't feel they feel a little. Wow. I don't know. They feel kind of... That's wild, Julie. They feel some kind of way. All right? Because look at this. The family posted that they're closing Find Hannah Facebook page due to threats against their lives. They will not be responding to any messages. Confirmation Hannah was found? ? I'm so confused. As a donor to their GoFundMe and someone who helped with the search, I feel gaslighted. And I've said this before. I've covered stories where people like intentionally, just they don't want to be found. They want to be left alone. Or if they are found, sometimes they are found and they're just like, hey, I want to be left for whatever. Who knows what's going on with that family? We don't know. I don't know. But I want to be left alone. And you will not get an answer. That's the end of the story. That could just be it. That's it.
Could be it. Huh?
That's all they will tell you. Let's see, there's a video here. Let's check this out. Okay. So you guys that are subscribed, you probably saw these videos. We're still waiting on Sarah Boone, by the way, and it hasn't started yet. I'm watching Court TV and I'm watching Law and Crime. Oops. Damn. Spamming that.
Hey guys, sorry it's late, but we have been looking through the CCTV footage of the hotel at Venice Beach. Some of you guys have been helping looking into this show and her behavior. Also, you can zoom in if you need to. Sent to me.
I'll just skip to this part real quick. Hugs Dealer, how you doing? I hope you're good.
Did you guys see that?
Okay, let me make it a little bit bigger for you guys too. Just give me 1 second. It just kind of.
Did you guys see that? Pick that up. She's like, I'm going over there. Because I think she saw this person come in with camera view. And I'm zooming on her because we might think that, we suspect that might be Michelle Fee, the reporter. What? With the yellow shoes. And then the
Okay, so I don't know. They think that's her. And Venice Beach is one of these places in California that like there's live cams all the time, live footage all the time. You know, so.
Obviously, it's gonna be cold outside, so if you're kind of gonna be more tightly held in. Sorry, this camera guy kind of like.
Hey, look at us.
It looks like she's trying to find the guy on the bike. Alright guys, so she's gonna be up at the top on the
Floor says, I don't believe that's her. She doesn't think it's her, okay? Yeah, Hugs Dealer, I mean, I feel the same. There's a lot I could say, but I'll keep it simple, yeah.
right? Coming out of that alleyway. Looks like she tried to throw someone off. I don't know. Maybe went around. It looks like she's trying to possibly meet up with that guy on the bike again. Who knows?
Not her? You don't think it's her, Eddie?
Kind of slowly walking, waiting for someone. Looking out there to see where the guy is again. There she is. Her family needs to definitely see if they can tell if that's her by her walking in her step.
That's true. Jeremy said if it's her, she dropped a lot of weight. Yeah. That is, she does look a lot skinnier. If this is her, it's a lot. That's true. She does look way less heavier than this.
Just cover her face. And the camera bag zooms out.
I don't think she was big either, though, T-Ho. I don't think she was big.
I'm trying to zoom in here while it's streaming so I can see. Get more shots of her.
I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. I don't know if that's her or not. Venice Beach has a lot of people just roaming around, you know. It's true, folks, yeah.
All right, guys, so I clipped the footage.
Okay. All right, so that was the clip that I posted earlier. A lot of people are talking about that. And we're waiting for Sarah Boone. Sarah Boone's are done. I don't know. Hannah thighs a lot bigger than that girl. I'm going to have to look back at her original pictures. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, they said 140 pounds. That I do remember. Yeah, they did say that. It was just very thin for that height. I think I have the image still here. Let me see. Yeah, I still have the image here. Yeah, that's what you said. 5'10" and 140 pounds. Yeah. She's not big at all. No. I mean, she's, yeah. November 10th. Oh, Boots has pictures? Yeah, Boots, if you want to email me. Like I've been saying in my videos and stuff, I don't think this is a trafficking thing. Like when you, I mean, some of you guys have been here with me for years, so every time somebody goes missing, people jump. Oh, it's a trafficking. You know, it's Epstein. Epstein has her, even though he's dead now. But you know, it's like I don't think this is that type of situation. I do think and I know maybe it sounds messed up to some people. I do think she's kind of selfish. Sometimes, and I was gonna say younger people, but she's 31, so she should know better. I mean, the literal title of my previous video was entitled "Brat?" ? I think that's what she is, kind of, you know. And I can't, like, because I posed the question, like, you know, does she feel bad about her father? Even though her father offing himself, that's kind of on him, you know. But it's strange. I think he was 2 weeks into the search, and he's like, I'm just gonna throw myself off this building. It doesn't make any sense to me, you know. It doesn't make any sense to me. And then somebody commented too in my YouTube video that I posted. I think I posted, was it yesterday I posted it? Somebody commented on my YouTube video, and they're like, man, what did they say? They said, you know, her father offed himself, you know, have some type of like sympathy or some shit like that, or compassion. And my father did the same thing. And I think he's a coward. That's just my opinion. I know it's kind of like, I don't know. I still, it's been years, but I still feel that to this day. There's nothing, and I guess there's like this whole mental health aspect and all this stuff, but there's nothing special about doing that to yourself, and it shouldn't be praised. If people praise, oh, but this and that, no. So when I don't know, and then there's the whole thing of like, I'm a follower myself, and so like I couldn't imagine in the middle of a search where I'm worried about my daughter. Right? Like, what's going to happen? What, like, that I'm just going to chuck myself off a building as a solution. I don't know. How does it make any sense? April said, my father tried to do it, really, and was almost successful, but I, too, felt he was selfish and I was mad at him. I remember there was this guy. So I was a pharmacy tech, and I used to work in the hospital for many years. And I remember there was this guy. I'll never forget it, because this guy, he took a shotgun to his face, and he was unsuccessful. Bro, like the whole front of his face was like blown off. Like he didn't really have a nose. Like his lips, like almost the whole front of his face was gone. And you could see him, because the thing was, his bed was, it was like, it's crazy, but they had like, he was sitting by the nursing station, and there was like a huge window, like a big ass window. Everybody could see him. He was on full display. And what I realized, oh, they're about to start soon. And when I realized, I was like, damn, like this guy, like he tried to kill himself. He was unsuccessful, but now he's on full display. And I would walk by there to deliver the medication, and you'd see him. He had like mittens on. He had mittens on his hands because I guess they didn't want him to hurt himself. So they put stuff on his hands so he can't hurt himself. And he was just there. And I could tell looking at him. It's almost like he was unhappy that he survived. Are you a pharmacy tech too? Blue Wolf. I don't think I'll ever do it again. It was an okay job. I worked at CVS. I worked at it was Eckerd's at first, then it was CVS, and then I went to I worked at two different hospitals, and then I worked at this insurance company as a pharmacy tech, which is probably, besides YouTube, that was the best job I ever had. It was just really cool. But yeah, it's really weird seeing this guy on display, that he tried to, off himself. He was unsuccessful. And so now he's just like this display. It was so weird. He's just on display. And he was so drugged out You know, like they had him on a bunch of medication, Ativan and whatever else, lorazepam, and he was just there with his mittens, and you could tell he was like unhappy. He didn't want to be there, but he didn't have a choice. You know, and just that was it. He was, I guess that I don't know whatever happened to that guy. And that guy, the other thing about that guy, he was like a doctor or something too. He had a lot of money. It's not like he had financial problems. Sometimes I think financial stuff, sometimes when you have money, that almost exacerbates like the issues you have. He was some type of doctor or something, psychiatrist. The irony of that, he was like a psychiatrist, and he was there on display. I never forget that, with his mittens. Crazy. They probably shouldn't have had him on display. Maybe they should have had him. I don't know, you know. But that maybe that was for a reason too. Maybe they wanted to monitor him, keep an eye on him. So maybe that's why he was on display like that. But it's crazy. I've tried it 6 times. Really, Tabby? Am I reading that right? That's why my mom did it for many years. Really, Jimmy? Wow. So I have some type of bias because my dad, you know, so it's hard for me to like relate and understand. But it's just super bizarre to me. The whole thing with this guy and with his missing daughter, you know, just like, just a crazy way to go out. Like, I don't know, jumping off the roof of a garage. I don't know. Really? Bama Beauty? Wow. Oh, my mom was a farm tech too. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, pharmacy tech is interesting job. I mean, I feel like you're not appreciated. Kind of like nurses, they're not appreciated. The nurses are the backbone. They do everything. You barely see the doctor, right? If you ever been to a hospital, you rarely ever see that. He pops in once, maybe for the day, but the nurses are doing all, and they're so educated too. They know everything, you know. But pharmacy tech is kind of like that too. Like you're doing all the work and getting treated like shit, you know. Yo, Santa Muerte. Please play the Santa Muerte clip and or Alpha David. I wonder which Santa Muerte. Let me look it up. Santa Muerte. Santa Muerte. My God. Sí, smell Santa Muerte. Damn, I have a few of them. Oh, yo, Santa Muerte, bro, Santa Muerte. What's going on here? What in the heezy?
What is up, it's Kamel? And a couple of things.
My God,
with this
that was
child
crazy as fuck.
The 6-year-old missing from Texas. They actually went inside the shed. Bro, it is a mess. A mess. I haven't watched this yet. We're going to watch it together. I'm first going to play a timeline clip for the people that haven't heard about this.
You savage. I hope you're good, man. My other Florida friend. We should link up sometime. Savage says, you said, would I let a woman into my damn suitcase? Bro, I don't care what a bitch I identify as. I wouldn't let God talk me into a suitcase.
story. We've been covering this story of Noelle missing recently. The family fled. Okay, they left to India, took a plane. The mother, the stepfather, and the 6 siblings are gone. Hightailed it. This 6-year-old with physical, maybe mental disabilities is missing.
Yeah, so March 20th, we received the information from CPS and a request to conduct a welfare check.
Wednesday said, to answer your question, Mel, it depends how hot she is.
At Noelle's residence on the 3700 block of Wisteria. We later learned that on March 21st, the family had a firm of these circumstances in, I think, less than was on the 23rd.
Criminal investigation. Okay. Now, adding in the chat, their addresses, their families, names, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, pull up their addresses. Check out Data Seal Safe.
That is a promo.
And he was shocked, he said, to learn the boy was missing, that his friend fled the country with her other kids and her husband. Meanwhile, authorities are now shifting the tone of their investigation. And
on the press conference yesterday, they were saying that these people used to actually live inside the actual home. And this shed, there wasn't a shed there. After I don't know how many years, I forget, they built this shed in the backyard. And so just think of the composition of the family. You got the mother, you got stepdad, and you got 7 kids. Okay. And I guess because of the more kids that came along, because there's 2 5-month twins, a 7-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, and an 11-year-old. And so some of these kids came, the 2-month twins are more recent. And so they expanded, I guess, into the shed.
A bit more about how they came to live there from the elderly gentleman who years ago took Noelle's mother in. 6-year-old Noel Rodriguez Alvarez lived in this shed with his mother,
Wow. That's a mess. A mess.
Father and 6 of his 9 siblings.
Oh my God.
The 71-year-old property owner who lives in the home in front.
Damn. Almost feel like I need to take myself off the screen. What? I mean, maybe taking into consideration, I guess cops were searching, but like, I don't know. This place is torn
up. The shed is allowing Fox 4 to tour after Everman police investigators sorted through belongings the past.
Looks like a crack den.
Couple days. Fiona tells Fox 4.
Bro, is that pills? Is that what, they got codeine on the floor?
Investigators sorted through belongings the past couple days.
They got the purple haze? I don't know. It looks like some sort of something. Got some medication there. Place is torn. I'll never feel bad again for my place feeling like a little bit messy. Bro, nothing like this. Holy shit.
Cindy Rodriguez.
Oh, yo! Santa Muerte! Bro, Santa Muerte! What the hell is going on here? What in the heezy?
Rodriguez sing for more than a decade.
Bro, the whole place is torn up, and the only place that's like clean in there is like the Santa Muerte statues and stuff.
For most of that time, she had been living inside the main home, but moved into the shed a couple years ago as her family grew.
What a crazy twist this story is kind of turning out to be. Please make sure you like this video.
Santa Muerte. Oh, there's Sarah Boone. Look at Sarah. Wow. Sarah Boone. Let me see if Law and Crime has like a live audio. No, they're live, but there's no like live audio. Okay. All right, so we're waiting to see. By the way, Court TV's been on. I don't know if you've ever seen them. They've been in my chat a couple of times. The chase streams. They've come into my chat. I guess they were hanging out. Sarah Savage. What's that called? Yeah, I know. It's been cold, man. What the heck? I woke up today. It was like 50 degrees. It's 74 now, but it was like 50 this morning. Holy! I know for the people up north, New Yorkers or whatever, they're probably laughing at me, but it was 50 something degrees this morning. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, I see you guys in the chat. Sarah Boone. Okay, we'll wait for Sarah now. Boone be gone. Oh, gumbo. Damn. I feel like I haven't had it in so long. Gumbo sounds good. Damn. 24 there? Really? Fahrenheit? 23? Jesus Christ. I'd die. I wouldn't be able to. Damn. Let's check. All right, Sarah's in the courtroom. Let me see what's going on. I got suspended on Twitter. Joe Biden pardoned his son, by the way, which not surprising to me, but in case you didn't know, that was the big news. Joe Biden pardoned his son, Hunter Biden. Let me see what else. Mm-hmm. Oh, we got audio now. Now we got audio. I think that's good. Dragonfly, what's up, Jennifer Perriette? I know that's true, Savage, because we got a lot of humidity here. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I got suspended. I guess I was going off on the cult on Twitter. I said some unsavory things, I guess. Yo, Kash Patel. So Kash Patel, I don't want to get too much into politics on here. I know people are not into that, I understand. But Kash Patel, why do they, this is like his main profile picture. God damn. He looks like a serial killer to me. I think he's a decent guy. I don't have any problems with the dude. Yeah, I got suspended for like 15 hours or something. Kash Patel, I was like, what's up with this dude's pic? I like him, but he's like, he has a serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer vibe. Why? Okay. Damn. Damn. Okay. Allie says, if anyone deserves life sentence, it's Miss Sarah Boone. She deserves to rot in prison for the rest of her life. Oh. Twin Flames. Carolyn. Yeah. Twin Flame cult. No. No, not that cult. The Karen Reed cult. Okay, what else we got? Oh yeah, look. Your account is locked. The free speech platform. You're locked out. Oh, damn, Lolly. Oh, shit. Kosh is a great pick for FBI director. He knows all the corruption. Yeah, I hope he shakes things up. I hope he goes in there and tosses all the people out. Just like Elon did when he bought Twitter. Me too, Dragonfly. I'm over the Karen Reed stuff, but her trial, she's having a new trial in January, I guess, so it's about to get, things are going to get riled up again. Sarah Boone, appearing to be confident. Has her head up high. Sarah, okay, Sarah. Her thin hair. Sarah Boone. portraying to be confident, smiling, looking back and smiling. She has that chain hanging off her waist and shit. Oh, Teresa, so when they suspend you on Twitter, you can see my account, but apparently I can't like any comments. It's so weird. So when my account is locked, I can't like. Okay, look. I'm gonna try to like this. I can't like it. Look, watch. You can't like anything. You can't comment on anything. A porn star will attempt to have sex with 1,000 men in one day. What? And it's sparking health concerns from doctors. Oh, please. All of a sudden, the doctors care. My body, my choice. But yeah, so I can't comment. I can't like anything. Nothing. They've restricted me for like 15 hours. Same haircut as our attorney. That's true. It does look very similar. Yeah. Melissa, what's up, Melissa? How you doing? Ooh, Danette says she's going to make a statement according to her lawyers. Press statements after the verdict. I'd like to see that. I'm curious to see if she's going to say something. Because I think the whole thing with her, she was trying to say she was in a domestic violence situation. And it seems like it was. It does seem like that's true, but, you know. Amethyst, how you doing? You know we had to be here to see her sentencing. We have to, and look at it. It's like almost Christmas, the holidays, Thanksgiving pass. We gotta be here for Sarah Boone's sentencing. Have to be here. Oh, Donna, she has a trial coming up too, Jags? I didn't know that. I know that's that whole. I didn't follow the whole story, but I know she's like the mother of somebody, like some guy accused of like murder or something. I don't know the whole story, but they got her ass too. There's no way. How do you do 1K a day? 1K guys. Yeah, it's crazy. We're already in December. Went by so fast. Perfect. The teacher texted me and said, our homework had technical difficulties. There's no homework tonight except for their project? What? What the? Give that girl a plaque and a plug. Sarah Boone, your time's up. Time's up. Sometimes in life, there's consequences for your actions. Time is up. And I feel like she's in complete denial. Complete denial. Oh, I'm here. I'm a victim and blah, blah, blah. Complete denial. She's looking at her blank pages. There's nothing on those pages. It's blank. She's looking at printer paper. Oh, no, actually, though, there is writing on there. Okay. I thought she was looking at blank pages. Like, we can see you. It looks like there is writing. Okay. Empty pages, right? For a second, I thought it was like blank pages. I'm like, why is she flipping through those blank? Trying to put on a whole act or whatever. Well, I guess we'll see. Curious to see what she has to say. looked very serious. Her attorney and Sarah looked very serious. They're looking at these papers and having this serious conversation. Damn, that thing is waist high too. The chains around her. Damn. I think she should serve a long time because what she did was particularly cruel. She mocked this person as they were dying. She didn't give a fuck. Not only that, she recorded the guy dying and gasping for air and laughed and then went to sleep after. Like she's a really diabolical, like cruel, disgusting person. But now she's a victim. I guess she's going to portray to be a victim. I want to see what she has to say. I hope she talks. Yeah, she mocked him, talked shit about him while he was dying, breathing his last breaths of air, you know, like talking shit to the guy. What is she whispering? Damn, they muted it. I wanted to try to hear what she was saying. You know. No, Adrian. Come on, man. I'm Gemini. So Hoke said, I would say parole eligible only because of the abuse. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. She could. There was definitely abuse from both sides. So I don't know. Maybe she could pull something off like that. Parole eligible. Parole after 25 years. Let me look it up. I thought was it? I don't know. I thought yesterday I looked it up and I thought this said 16 to life, but Sarah Boone. See what they're saying. So it says she's facing, according to Newsweek, she's facing up to life in prison for the murder, and she will receive a minimum of 22 and a half years. So this Newsweek says 22 and a half years minimum. I thought I read 16, but yeah, I don't know, but I guess, okay. 22 and a half years. Maybe look for some other sources. It definitely was like a toxic, fucked up relationship for sure. So, the defense countered by claiming Boone was a victim of an abusive relationship with Torres and suffered from battered spouse syndrome. Okay. All right. Bro, but this picture here, she over here, she's like smirking and stuff. I gotta show you guys this picture. Yeah, there's no audio right now, guys. No audio. This chick over here is smiling and shit. Yes, I'm a victim. Yes. Look at this shit. Yes. Trust me. I agree, JB. I do think it was revenge, not self-defense. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Imagine if they did that, like, for people that do crimes. Imagine if they changed the justice system. And so now, like, for example, with this chick, she was found guilty, and so now you need to be locked up in a suitcase. And we're gonna record you. We'll live stream it for everybody to watch. Imagine if like crimes became like that, right? That'd be kind of wild. I mean, maybe I don't know if that's too much, but okay. Now we're gonna lock you up in a suitcase. We're gonna live stream it. We'll have donations and stuff. We'll make it a whole event and everything. And we want to hear you gasp and breathe for air. And we're gonna talk shit to you too, like you did to him. We're gonna talk shit to you. That'd be crazy. I guess it's probably too much. I guess. Hunger Games. And we can drink it. Eye for an eye. That'd be kind of, yeah, imagine that. Like, imagine. You should put a caption. You're next. My suitcase. That'd be crazy. Imagine that shit. Like, hoax. I remember your crazy ass comment. Maybe it's not that crazy, but I remember your comment from the other day about Hannah. I couldn't even repeat it. I busted out laughing, but I'm like, I'm not gonna repeat what he said. But now the more and more days that pass, I don't know. It seems like who knows? Hannah. Wilson. Ooh. Perry, is that true? Perry says Spain just made it so that animals have the same rights as people and can no longer be abused. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of people that care more about animals than people. They'd love that. I feel like there's been a couple of times where like they don't care about people. They care more about animals. Patricia says that's way too much. All right. I guess. All right. He was Eddie. Yes, wasn't he calling her babe when he was asking to be for her to? Oh, we're starting. Okay, asking her to be let out. Yeah. All right, we're getting started.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye.
True Lacey. Yeah. Ooh, Wilson. All aboard. I might have to increase the volume for you guys. Oh no, they did it. Okay, let's see. Wait and see. What? I wish the quality was better. Let me take a look at Law and Crime, see what they look like. Oh shit, sorry guys. Don't touch anything. Oh fuck. Okay. Let's see. I think Law and Crime looks a little bit better. Not by much. Let's do Law and Crime. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay. I don't know, maybe a little bit better, I guess. We'll do Law and Crime.
Yeah, case.
Calling State of Florida versus Sarah Boone, 2020 CF 2603, State.
Dean Castro on behalf of the state. William J. for the state.
Defense.
James Owens for Sarah Boone.
Ms. Boone is seated at counsel's table. Ma'am, if you could please raise your right hand, Madam Clerk's going to go ahead and swear you in.
Oh shit. It's time!
Ma'am, can you state your full name and date of birth for the record for us?
Sarah Boone, 10-10-7-7.
We are here for a sentencing. The jury returned a verdict on October 25, finding you, Ms. Boone, guilty of murder in the second degree.
Stay awake, Carly.
We were running a little bit late this afternoon. I apologize for that. I was in court all morning and took the opportunity to review all of your submittals from earlier this morning, Mr. Owens, including the victim or the character statements, the psychological evaluation by Dr. Harper, the motion for downward departure, the motion for new trial, and the state's response to same. Before we proceed with any sentencing in this matter, the court needs to address the defendant's motion for new trial and the state's response to the defendant's motion for new trial. Anything in addition you'd like to argue at this time, Mr. Owens, over and above what is contained in your motion, sir?
No, sir.
State.
No, sir.
All right. After reviewing the motion and the state's response to same, the defendant's motion for a new trial is denied. Based on the court's review of the record,
shit. Florida,
the court's
baby.
participation in the trial, and the review of all the evidence, of the court's prior findings and rulings at trial and prior thereto.
Damn.
With that, I believe that we're prepared to proceed with sentencing at this time. The court has reviewed the pre-sentencing investigation prepared by the Department of Corrections. Are there any housekeeping matters that we need to address, Mr. J. or Mr. Cacciatore, before we proceed?
Not from the state.
Are there any housekeeping matters from your side of the ledger, sir, that we need to address, Mr. Owens?
Judge, I do have 4 lay witnesses that are going to testify.
Oh, 4 witnesses?
Testify.
Okay. Oh, shit. Okay. Damn.
One of the 4 lay witnesses wants to appear by Zoom. She lives up in Minnesota. I don't know if that's allowed.
We don't have an objection to that. One of our witnesses will be providing an impact statement, would also like to appear on the court's virtual link as well.
Okay, so stipulated. If you need it, just let Anita know, and I can submit. I can have her email it to you right now. The link.
We do have the link. She's waiting to get on, I guess.
Who might it be, sir? Several people.
It should be Lana Albert.
She is here, sir. She's in the. She's viewing. Her camera's off, and she's microphone is muted, but she's in the lobby.
Okay.
All right. With that, state, you may proceed.
Your Honor, at this time, we would like to take an impact statement from, I believe, Anna Torres, which you will be appearing virtually.
That's the guy's family, I think.
I see several guests, but I do not see a Anna Torres in the virtual lobby, sir.
Well, I think while maybe she's having some issue with logging on.
The guy's name is George Torres.
We can proceed with those first, sir.
So I think his family is going to, somebody from his family speak. Wants to speak, I guess. So it seems like people on Sarah Boone's behalf are going to talk. They said, what is that, 4 witnesses? Oh, okay. This is the guy's family, though. Let's see.
Please.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Ma'am, good afternoon. Could you state and spell your name for the record for us?
My name is Blanca Torres.
Okay. Ma'am, you can go ahead.
I just want to tell Sarah Boone that I don't hate her.
I would have said fuck you. I would have told her fuck you. No, I don't hate her. But that's her. That's her piece,
I
though.
always remember that evening when that lady came into my door and she knocked at the door. And she asked for my name. I said, I tell her my name. And then she said, can I come in? I said, okay, yes. And she told me to sit down. I never think that was going to be my son.
Oh, that's the mother talking? Damn.
And then she said my son was dead.
Wow.
since that day, I can't sleep. It's hard for me to remember that moment. My son is not here no more. She don't only kill my son, she killed a father, a brother, an uncle. It's been hard. And my family, because all the brothers, they will always work together. But now it's like something real. Love is missing. Sometimes when I look out the window, I'm waiting for him to come and say, Mom, I love you.
I feel so bad for this lady. Damn.
She was always there. She called me. I miss that mommy. The last time that I talked to him was at 12 o'clock in January, New Year. He came to my bed and said, Mom. He woke me up and I said, Mom, I love you. Happy New Year. Since that day, I don't see him no more. It was my son. I love him. And I miss him a lot. My family miss him a lot too. But I don't hear her. But you know what? I was blessed. She ain't gonna be blessed like me because I have my son. I raise him. I have his children, my granddaughter, my grandson, and she don't gonna be able to have that. And I did. I raised him.
I said lock her for life. Lock her for life.
Good son.
Fuck this shit. Lock her up for life. These people, you gotta, they need consequences because they've never had consequences in their life.
Thank you, ma'am.
They need to be locked. Enough of this like sympathy shit. They need to be locked up and thrown away. I'm tired of this fucking like, toss their ass. Sarah bitch. Toss her ass. Playing with her. How many lawyers she's gone through? 7, 8 lawyers and stuff.
Your next victim impact.
Playing games and stuff. Even after his death, still playing games and making a mockery of and all this stuff. Lock her ass up forever. Tired of this bullshit with these criminal, manipulative, narcissistic people. Lock her ass up.
I do.
Ma'am, could you state and spell your name for the record for us, please?
Victoria Torres. My name is Victoria Torres. George is my brother.
Oh, I didn't know he had a sister. Wow. Okay.
Unfortunately, my family has experienced 2 horrifying tragedies. And I just want to make it clear that George deserves justice. As far as my other brother and Sarah deserve to rot in jail. Sarah has caused a lifetime of pain, a lifetime of horrible images, a lifetime of hearing my brother George plead for his life. This is just this moment for all of you. For me and my family, it's forever. Such a simple thing as using a suitcase is so triggering. I try not to close it all the way. I leave at least like 2 or 3 inches for the zipper. And it might sound crazy, but it just helps me. She really has flipped my family's life upside down. And I just hope that we can truly get justice for my brother. And I just want to tell the team thank you so much for everything they did. Thank you.
Thank you. State anything further? Defense?
Yes.
Thank you.
I feel bad. I do feel bad for the family. And I think Charles was saying to you can't do that when I said I'd go off. You're right. I don't think you can snap. The judge would probably throw me out. You know, I definitely wouldn't offer any kind of forgiveness, though.
And Anna Torres in the lobby.
People have different ways.
I have lots of guests. HHSA, Mr. Beck, Lana Albert, Jason Gunn.
That's just crazy, dude.
Your Honor, is there a cap to the link as to the number of individuals?
Not to my knowledge.
Could we just have just a moment?
Yes.
Yeah. Well. So we'll see. I mean, this is what happens. So during sentencing, like, they'll normally bring the families and stuff, come say something on behalf of the victim and all that, you know. Well, Sarah is definitely a wicked person, bro. Oh my God. Cold as ice. Nobody can deal with her ass. She went through so many lawyers. Even the lawyers can deal with her ass. Well, I guess let's see. Let's see what happens. I'm curious to see what kind of time the judge is going to give for the sentencing. Damn, man. Said I would catch a case hands down. I don't know if I could contain myself either. It's so hard to try to, like, put myself in that position. There's no way I could offer sympathy to somebody like that. Like, if I knew if they killed my family member like that. And it's on video. It's on video. I don't know, man. It's just take a lot from me not just wring her ass. Jump over the seat and yoke her ass through her little neck and shit. Yoke her ass and slam her head on the table or something. I would do that. Even if I caught a charge, I would fucking wring her neck and slam her head into the fucking table. If I could do, if I was the family, like if I could, just for a little something inside of me. Fuck it. Yeah, I'd yoke her ass and say something to her. You're not no fucking victim. Slam her head on the fucking table. It'd be headlines on the news and stuff. I don't know. And have all kinds of cops in there, and it'd be a huge arrest. It'd make national headlines. I come here. Oh, yes. With her soft-spoken voice. Oh, yes. Satan over here, sitting over there, talking shit. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Bam. Sadie, that's true. That's really true. Yeah. No, she hasn't been sentenced yet. We're waiting. We're hearing from witnesses right now. So the sentencing hasn't happened yet. Hamilton, I don't know. Somebody said she was going to talk. I don't know if she is or not. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yes, sir, Mr. Cacciatore.
Your Honor, after speaking with Mr. Owens, given the fact that the victim's daughter is having difficulties with...
The victim's daughter?
Is that her, Anna Victoria Torres?
What? I didn't even know he had a daughter.
Yes, sir.
Is that it? Is that who it is?
Oh.
All right, ma'am, good afternoon.
Wow,
Can you hear us?
Good afternoon. I can hear you.
Okay, could you please state and spell your name for the record?
My name is Anna Victoria Torres, ANAVICTORIA
All right, thank you, ma'am. I understand that you'd like to provide a statement to the court at this time. You may proceed.
Okay. Okay. So I'll be speaking for myself and my two siblings. The murder of our father has impacted us on so many levels and in different ways. I myself, for the first year, would wake up screaming every morning or night, wishing I was having a nightmare, only to wake up to remember all over again that my father is gone and I'll never be able to hear him say he loves me ever again. To know my siblings have been affected in such a way that they are now different. They have had a piece of their heart ripped away from them, all while her son gets to hear his mother's voice and see her alive is pathetic. Because of you, Sarah, my sister is heartbroken. Because of you, Sarah, my brother is left wondering when he will ever see his father again. The loss of my father has left me with chronic depression and anxiety. Seeing any moments of fatherly love or kindness being shown between others in real life or even on TV leaves me in complete shambles. Seeking therapy was a must in order to navigate through my workday without a random breakdown. Thoughts of my father's demise still enter my mind ever so often. I'm left either angry, sad, or sick to my stomach to think of how his final moments were. George Torres, my incredible father. Not only was he my father, but my best friend. My personal comic provided me with wisdom and knowledge. Creative and loving dad, an older brother, an uncle, a cousin, a friend, a son, and above all, our father. He was human and deserved to be treated as such. My father, George Torres, was one of a kind, an absolute gem. Unfortunately, his light was dimmed on earth by evilness, but with us, we will forever make his name live on. Especially Sarah. I pray that you see his face when you see him at night. That is it.
Thank you. Anything further, State?
No, Your Honor.
Anything further of this witness?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Anything further?
No other impact statements, Your Honor.
Thank you.
So who's going to
Any
speak
other
on
witnesses
Sarah's
or evidence
behalf?
at this point in time, State?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Owens, you may proceed, sir.
Miss Diane Smith.
Okay, so Sarah has some people. I'm curious what they're going to say.
I have no issue with her being at the podium. If you want to move about the well to conduct your examination, that's fine, counselor. Ma'am, come on up. Coming up to this podium right here, ma'am, if you could raise your right hand.
Yeah,
Madam Clerk's going to go ahead and swear you in.
You solemnly swear or affirm to testify
We should roll out of bed.
the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Ma'am, could you state and spell your name for the record for us, please?
Diane Smith, DIANE-SMITH.
Okay, thank you very much. Counselor, you may inquire.
And Ms. Smith, tell the court a little bit about you.
I was a chaplain at the 33rd Street Jail for 30 years.
And have you been a chaplain at the jail here in Orange County?
Yes, Orange County Jail
Is it the same
for
jail
30
you're
years.
referring to? Okay. And during that period of time, did you have occasion to meet with Sarah Boone?
I did.
And was it over the course of how long?
I've known her 4 years.
And if you could, tell the court what you'd like to say.
Okay. Well, I first met Sarah. She came in. We have a Christian dorm, and Sarah enrolled in our Christian program. And she was in my classes for a year. And she was very sincere in her efforts to change her life and to be a better person. And I found her very helpful. She was kind and good to people. She loved to serve. And she helped the new girls that would come in, the younger girls. She would mother them and be very kind and very helpful. And then after she graduated from the program, I was her counselor for the other 3 years, and I always found her, very sincere and, trying to do better. I spoke with many inmates that knew her and was associated with her, and they spoke very highly of her and said that, she was helpful and kind and tried to help other people. And I just found her to be, very sincere and trying to be a very good person and change and help people.
Was the Bible involved at all?
Oh yes, it was all spiritual. Yes, it was spiritual growth plus character growth and character. Trying to just be a better person in general. She liked to serve other people. She would help the girls wash their clothes and show them around and teach. But spiritually, she grew very, very great spiritually.
Thank you.
Hang on, ma'am, just 1 second.
Ma'am?
Hang on just 1 second, Ms. Smith. State, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you.
I'd like to call Christina Pena. That's right here.
Yeah, it's fine, Counselor. Thank you. Ma'am, come on up if you can. Raise your right hand. Madam Clerk's going to go ahead and swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Ma'am, if you could state and spell your name for the record for us.
Christina Pena, Christina Pena.
All right, you may inquire, sir.
Ms. Pena, how old are you?
31,
And where do you live?
Orlando.
Now, it's my understanding, Ms. Pena, that you were in the county jail with Sarah Boone.
Yes.
How long were y'all in the same cell together?
Yes, I was in there for 4 years, but we were together for 3.
Okay. And I understand ultimately the charges against you were dismissed?
Yes.
And so you were released on what day?
April 4th this year.
2024?
2023.
2023. So you've been out for a pretty while.
I've been out for like 6 or so months now. Yeah, since April of this year, actually. Sorry.
April of 2024. And you said y'all were bunkmates there together for about 3 years?
Yeah.
I would assume that y'all got to know each other pretty well.
We did.
Okay. And if you could, if you'd like to speak on her behalf to the judge.
Yes. Sarah's one of my best friends, my only.
Take your time.
She's helped me a lot. Spiritually and like growing, and she helps everybody. She's always, I don't know, she helped me a lot, and she would come to me, she'd talk to me all the time and pick me up when I was down, or if I didn't know something. She's good. I don't know. She was a good person to me. Mistakes happen. She always helped. She always helped people. She was always helping everybody in the dorm. Even like her artwork, she did art. If anybody needed any help or needed anything, they'd come to her and she'd help them. And even if they, did wrong to her, she would still go back and help them and praise with them and pray over them and everything. It's just.
And was she a little bit older than you?
Yeah.
How much older was she?
40 in her 40s.
Did you think of her as maybe an aunt or a big sister?
Big sister, yeah. She was like a big sister. Like a sister I never had. Because I have brothers, so I never, we clicked right away. I don't know. We'd be walking out in the backyard and she just would always try and talk to me, but I'm a quiet person and I don't trust a lot of people. So for me to open up and trust somebody, it's a lot. So.
And obviously y'all were there under difficult circumstances.
Yeah.
She assisted you in getting through that.
Yes, and she helped me a lot with my my case, and I would help her with with hers too. We're both justice is not what it is. I don't know how.
Bless you.
We both helped each other out. I don't know.
Ms. Danielle, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Any questions, State?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you.
Ms. Hill? Judge.
Yes, sir.
After Ms. Hill, I want to take Ms. Albert, please.
Yes, sir.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Ma'am, good afternoon. Could you state and spell your name for the record for us?
My name is Mariela Hill, M-A-R-I-E-L-A, last name Hill, H-I-L-L.
Thank you. You may proceed, sir.
Ms. Hill, briefly tell us a little bit about yourself.
I met Sarah in jail. I spent 3 months in jail and went through a lot of unfortunate circumstances myself.
All right. Now, this was in the Orange County Jail here in Orlando?
Orange County Jail.
And when would that have been? Do you recall the dates?
Yes, it was April, from April to June of this year.
Of this year,
2024.
2024.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. And did you develop a relationship with Sarah Boone over the course of that 3 months?
Yes. We met when I was moved to the B dorm, and I needed help with a form that I needed to complete, and one of the COs pointed to Sarah to help me out. And since that moment, we became really good friends, and she was so helpful, so kind, so respectful and loving, not just to me, but to everyone. And I have nothing but good things to say about her character, her loving heart, and how deep her faith is, her faith in God and believing in justice for everyone. So that's what I believe.
State, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Hill. I appreciate it. Ms. Albert, good afternoon, ma'am. Can you hear me? This is Judge Kranick, and if you can, I would ask you to turn on your camera and unmute yourself at this time, please.
Sir, how do I unmute turn on my camera? I know how to unmute, but I'm not sure how to turn the camera on.
Turn the volume down.
So, ma'am,
is that better?
When you join the link, there should have been an option for like a pull down on the left-hand side of the screen for you to open out or turn on a camera. I don't know what device you're appearing on, if it's a cell phone or a laptop.
It is an iPhone. Should I try to re-enter the room?
Yeah, try to do that. There should be an option for you to pick a camera. And you'll either select the default camera, and hopefully we'll be able to see you at that time.
Okay, let me just give me 1 second.
Sure.
Did that work? Can you see me?
I cannot.
Shoot. Yeah, it's saying default camera. It's saying front camera. I chose it. It didn't show my face or anything like that.
My technological skills are limited. State?
I have no objection to the witness making their statement here telephonically.
Okay, appreciate it. All right, Miss Albert, good afternoon. If you could just state and spell your name for the record for us, please.
Certainly. Lana, Lana, Albert, Albert.
Okay. All right, Mr. Owens is going to ask you some questions. And if you could just answer them, ma'am, I would greatly appreciate it. Sir, you can proceed.
Miss Albert, do you have the ability to turn your volume down?
Yes, I just did. I can't hear you very well when I do that, though.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you, but very, very quietly.
How about now?
Yes, I can hear you. Am I okay?
Yeah, you sound a lot better. You were too loud earlier.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
All right, Miss Albert, tell the court a little bit about yourself briefly.
Well, I live in Minnesota. I currently have end-stage renal disease. Before I became disabled, I was a business owner in the Twin Cities here.
All right, and how old are you?
I am 50 years old.
All right, and you're considered disabled?
Yes, I am.
All right, and have you had an occasion since this event to establish a relationship with Sarah Boone?
Yes, I have. We have been friends for the past a little over 11 months.
And how do y'all communicate?
We've communicated a lot of phone calls, lots of tablet back and forth, and a lot of letters as well. I'd say many hours of time spent with each other.
All right, and do you want to speak on her behalf here today?
I would, please.
All right, would you please tell the court what you would like for the court to know?
Thank you very much, and thank you very much, Your Honor, for the privilege of speaking on behalf of my friend Sarah Boone. I also want to extend my heartfelt condolences to everyone here affected by this terrible tragedy, which has brought us all here and listening in. Many articles and videos and opinions of Sarah have gone out in the airways and on the webs. Opinions that have been formed and commented on so much that it's hard not to give into the temptation to treat people like a comic book or a fictional character. In the case of my friend Sarah, the words narcissist, Karen, villain, many other things, they roll off the tongue with little regard to the humanity that is dismissed so flippantly. And under a lot of circumstances, I was one of those people, as I have a love of true crime. And becoming friends with Sarah has shown me that there's a lot more depth to the people I see on the screen. I'd like to share with the world and with the court
what the hell? Was this
about
a fan?
The Sarah Boone that I know.
A Sarah Boone fan?
Sarah Boone is a kind, honest, and good person.
Oh my God!
The Sarah Boone I know is one who loves animals, especially the kind who are damaged and defenseless.
But murders people.
How many of us would take in and pour love for a hearing-impaired and a sight-impaired pair of dogs? She has a natural instinct to help reach out and give of herself.
Who is this guy? I want to see his face.
Her time and energy and love, especially to those who are hurting or damaged. You all have seen her fight for her own life and truth here. I tell you this, she fights even harder for those she loves, giving time, attention, and companionship without a single thought for her own gain or what somebody can do for her. And one huge example is in the matter of our friendship.
Isn't that crazy?
As I said before, I have end-stage renal disease caused by a genetic illness called polycystic kidney disease. As my life has progressed, things I have taken for granted have been taken away from me. I could not appear in court in person because I can no longer walk.
That's a
as
female?
my dialysis treatments have affected the circulation of my legs and has confined me to a wheelchair. To say that my life has radically changed is an understatement.
I thought it was a guy. Oh
Through
my
it
God.
all, I have many friends and family I love and cherish. Sarah has distinguished herself differently in this way. In the course of getting to know her, I started sharing the progressing state of my health.
No way, it's a woman.
It was like lightning had struck her.
Oh my God.
The moment Sarah had learned the depth of my struggles health-wise, she straight up offered strenuously to donate a kidney to me. I got to tell you this. I hope she's not mad for me showing this, but she had no hesitation, no concern over personal risk or personal gain. I want to convey to this, out and around the world, that is merely offering is a good and heroic act. I've had many friends. I've not had one outside of my brother who has offered me a kidney. That is huge. I don't have anything of equal value to give to her.
This is
And
such
that's not the actions of a narcissist.
Yo, I've never heard such a like.
She did it as a reflex action.
Simp.
As a
Simp.
good person.
Holy shit.
After the verdict came in October, we spoke that night. And I hope Sarah doesn't get mad at me again for disclosing this, but
yeah, it's embarrassing.
Out of all the shock and seriousness of what happened in the court,
holy shit,
the thing that made her emotionally break was that she realized she could no longer be a donor to me.
What?
I mean, I was sitting there like, hey, you know, it's going to be okay. But she was so broken up, she couldn't help me.
What?
That's a friend.
This is crazy.
She is not, nor does she come up anywhere remotely close to being a narcissist. Now, one more thing before I go.
Oh my God.
Social media has worked to rip the blindfold off of Lady Justice, to take the sword out of her right hand and start assassinating Sarah's character. However, the scales are the balance. As it says in Psalm 85, mercy and truth are met together. Righteousness and peace have kissed each other. Justice isn't justice without mercy. Our pursuit of righteousness isn't complete and right without peace. Thank you, Your Honor, for the honor of speaking for my friend Sarah Boone. I hope that your justice is mixed with mercy here today. Thank you.
State, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Wow. Wow.
No, Judge. All right. Thank you.
2024.
Ms. Albert, I appreciate you.
2024. Yo.
Like to call Dr. Harper?
You want her on the stand or?
God.
I'm okay with her on the stand.
On the stand?
No, she can be right now. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But he said he's glad to be in her presence, and I'm glad I can breathe the same air that she breathes. What kind of simp shit? This is crazy.
Judge.
I'm privileged to be alive and around in her presence of a murderer. What? And then you have a psychologist condoning
Gaffney,
this
if you could
shit?
Please raise your right hand.
That's how you know you need to be careful. The therapist and psychologist you go to, bro. That's how you know
If you could, Doctor,
you should
state
be
and spell your
really
name for the record
careful
for us, please.
who you go
Julie
to.
Harper, Julie.
Psycho nut job.
All right, thank you. Counsel, you may
I'm
inquire.
a professional.
And,
What?
Dr. Harper, we all know we were here a few weeks back for the trial, and your testimony said the judge knows quite a bit about your testimony, but if you...
And she's a lesbian now or something? She's a lesbian and stuff? What the hell? What's going on with Sarah? I mean, you could tell by her looks, but like, goddamn, what happened to Sarah?
And I don't know if you want to refer to that or just speak on your own about Sarah Boone and what you did to assess her, and then any opinions that you have.
God.
All right. I think that during trial testimony, I reviewed all of the documents, excuse me, and all of the records that were available. They're
What
documented
the-
in my report as well. In addition to the forensic clinical interviews that I conducted,
I wish I could tweet right
also,
now. Oh my
had
God.
the opportunity to talk to her brother, Philip Paulson, in the interim since the trial, and I included his information in my report as to her family background.
If you could...
This is like a slap in the face to the family. I hope she gets life, this decrepit bitch. I hope she gets life in prison.
From the brother, whatever you think the court needs to hear this...
Fucking psychologist. Oh, yeah, I'm here.
So referring to the summary section of my report, I'll keep it a brief, but I'll outline the highlights that I feel like haven't been conveyed before, which is an understanding of Ms. Boone's early family life.
Medical
that,
experts.
She is the middle child of her parents' union, and that her parents
I
did
can't
not have
retweet.
a
I
happy
can't like or
marriage.
tweet, no.
They didn't provide an opportunity to have a good role model as to how to have a partnership together. Ms. Boone was born in close proximity to her youngest brother, 11 months apart. And in my clinical experience and training, I would say that that disrupted her attachment with her mother, some being close in proximity with her younger brother, whose temperament just seemed to suit a relationship with her mother better than her own. So ultimately, Ms. Boone bonded with her father. Though he wasn't described by either child as an affectionate person, he was somebody that was there for her at sporting events and more of a primary parent for her in that way. His untimely death by heart attack during her high school years was marked by her brother as a turning point for her in how she was acting at home. Her demeanor, her relationship with her mother took a turn for the worse as she was not coping well. She was using substances based on what her brother was saying. And it is my opinion that that early lack of foundational relations with her mom and not feeling very secure,
Wilson, don't try
the death
me like
of her
that.
father, destabilized her. That's a period of your life when you're leaving high school, when you should have formed a very solid foundation to go out in the world. And I don't think that that's what she had at that moment. She bonded easily with Mr. Boone, and you can see that there are elements of that early difficulty with her relationships because she took on a parentified role, in my opinion, during that relationship. And therefore, there's a power imbalance in that she was making decisions and not, again,
I wish I
having an
could tweet
equal
right now.
relationship.
My God.
I think that that led her to a sense of being a need to be right, a need to feel like she is the one that's making good decisions, to have some ego support by being in the right all the time with Mr. Boone. And I think that that led to some behaviors that she carried over into her relationship with Mr. Torres, in that she's parentified around him and acting more like a parent-child relationship, being a facilitator of housing and applications for jobs and things like that. So again, there's a power imbalance that I think
psychologist
was very seriously misaligned, as her brother and the property manager of their apartment had verified. They saw her being abused, physically abused in serious ways, or the effects of the abuse in bruising or calls to them. It is my opinion that she called for help, but when people got tired of her not leaving Mr. Torres, they stopped responding to those calls. And basically, Ms. Boone handled things.
Be careful who you get as a
on her
therapist.
own.
Watch
And
this
as
chick.
other people with healthier boundaries
Co-signing
probably
a
would have
murderer.
left, she being acting out the pattern of intimate partner violence.
They have
to not
explanations
leave.
for everything.
She stayed long past
chick
when it would have been smart for
Murdered this
others.
guy
Others would have
on
said to
video
leave.
and laughed about it. And you got a professional
The undergirding
therapist,
of that not
psychiatrist
leaving the
condoning this
relationship
shit.
is a long-term anxiety problem that became post-traumatic stress disorder.
Post-traumatic stress
There
disorder.
is
They
an
have all kinds of
earlier
terminologies.
instance of
Post-traumatic stress
exposure
disorder.
to traumatic stress in that she was.
That's why,
the
you know,
person
there's a
in the
reason why they're not
hospital
showing
after
her
father
face.
died
They don't want to show
who
her
found
face. You have to see the
him,
back of her
having
head.
Students perform CPR on his dead body. So that was an early exposure to
psychiatrist
high
condoning
traumatic
murder.
stress, witnessing that incident, and
Fucking
based on
crazy.
her
I'm
brother's
done.
description,
I'm done.
that was something that changed her. When a person is exposed to numerous compounding stressors, their adrenaline system is changed. It alters your body. And things that might be an otherwise neutral situation, you
How
tend
much
to
is she
have a
getting paid for
cascading
this?
adrenaline
That's what I want to know.
response
How much
to
is she
that.
getting paid
and
for
I
this
think
shit?
that ultimately for her, as she succumbed to other instances of serious physical abuse from her partner, became post-traumatic stress disorder. I do think that that is a condition that is still existent even while she's in jail. It's something that she needs treatment for, because those triggers are unmitigated, meaning that she hasn't really had the kind of therapy to address them and reduce her adrenaline and anxiety responses when she thinks of past instances
A
of
whole bunch of
traumatic
hoopla,
events that happened
nonsense.
to her. You can also respond to post-traumatic stress disorder clinically by using
All right, John, I guess you got
antidepressant
me with that.
therapy.
Maybe you got me with that.
And that would be something that could assist her ultimately in reducing symptoms if she had counseling and antidepressant therapy.
Antidepressants, bro. This chick suffocated a motherfucker in a suitcase and laughed. Time let's get her antidepressant.
As a married spouse, the syndrome that is legally recognized in Florida, in the courts of Florida.
That's correct.
And I understand that that is tied to this intimate partner violence, which is maybe the same thing, but there's a complex mental health issue that ties into that. Can you speak on the complexity of that whole cycle that...
Show my face? My face is all over the internet. What are you talking about?
Certainly. So intimate partner violence is not a diagnosis. It's a pattern of events that occur between two partners in which the power dynamic is altered by physical abuse or behaviors that are controlling in nature to the point that someone's safety is threatened. It's common for victims of that to have a complex mental health condition, often including depression, anxiety, and substance abuse problems. And what might be substance abuse to cope with the problem, like numbing oneself, will sometimes result in its own diagnosis. The pattern of intimate partner violence, I think we covered in the trial, but just in summary about that, there are phases in which at first the bonding of the two partners might be something positive.
I would love to question this lady.
Something in common.
I would love to question her.
Time together. And then the secondary phase of that is when there is change in dynamic and some kind of traumatic event occurs, some instance of physical violence. And then there's a third phase in which it's like a honeymoon phase where they're trying to right the relationship. So in phase one, when they're having something pleasurable, the tone shifts. Phase two, there is some kind of incident. And phase three, there's a
I hope the
phase.
prosecution questions her ass.
As that pertains to anxiety, I think that a person who suffers from intimate partner violence never stops experiencing that hypervigilance, waiting for the next instance of violence to occur. So even though they may look happy, they might be experiencing something positive, they've not really relaxed because their memory that could or will occur again is still in their mind. So they haven't fully stopped experiencing intimate partner violence.
Really?
It's just what phase of the process they're in.
Now, and Dr. Harper, it goes into more detail in your report, which I supplied to the court, which is a total of 11 pages, and I believe that's confidential documents.
That's what's been marked. I don't believe it's been filed in the court file.
Okay.
If it has, that's something we,
Like
if
I
it
said,
needs to be,
this
it's
is
something
kind
we
of
can
a slap
address.
in the
I
face
have
of the
reviewed
family.
it. It does reflect confidential and privileged information on the first page. I don't believe it's been filed in the court file unless you did it.
I wouldn't offer any apologies to these fuck people.
It already has been.
Apologies to these people. Apologize to the people
Thank
that
you,
murdered my family. I'm gonna apologize. And they have all kinds of excuses and therapists and shit. I'm supposed to apologize to these people.
Yes.
Imagine well, she didn't apologize, but she said she's not like she forgives or not, whatever. Offer no sympathy. That's crazy.
That she requires
Scum
specialized
people.
treatment for mental disorder that is not related to substance use or addiction, although you agree that she does suffer from alcohol use disorder.
So she has an underlying mental health disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, and I additionally diagnosed her with alcohol use
all the bullshit you can, the check marks you guys come up with.
Require specialized treatment for mental disorder that's not related to the substance use or addiction.
That's correct.
And you agree that she's amenable for treatment?
Yes.
And you would agree that she acted under extreme duress in this unique homicide case?
Bullshit.
Yes.
This is criminals, motherfucking criminals.
And you would agree that the uniqueness of the circumstances, the facts and circumstances surrounding the case, that the offense was committed in an unsophisticated manner?
Yes.
And it was isolated?
Yes, it was
That's my understanding as well.
Other than she had the charge where she was, both of them were charged at one time, and I think she had the strangulation allegation, the felony case that was ultimately dismissed when both of them were arrested.
She had a prior felony case. Facts are different, of course, than this particular case we're here today.
Dr. Harper, I believe that's all the questions I've got, unless you would like to say if I missed anything.
I'd love to ask you some questions. Please.
Okay, and if not...
Prosecution, please ask some questions.
Any questions?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you take the stand so I can take the podium?
Yes, that's
You're
fine.
damn right. Ask this bitch some questions. Or should not? Yeah. Yeah. Mental health therapist. Fuck you. Yeah.
You may inquire, sir.
co-signing
Pages 1 and
murder.
2 of your report, you go through
This
the
bitch
sources
laughed
of your
about it.
information, correct? Yes. And that would include 8 interviews that you had with her from the course of August of 2020 through September of 2024, correct?
There were 9 interviews, but 8 dates of service are listed.
Answer the question. Shut up.
You did the Miller Forensic Assessment of Symptoms Test, or MFAST.
That's right.
Inventory of Legal Knowledge, ILK.
That's right.
Clinician-administered PTSD Scale 5 examination.
Yes.
You consulted with her attorney.
Yes.
Videotaped interviews from this court case number of Sarah Boone, interview part 1 and 2, Abraham Moreno interview, Brandon Moats interview, Brian Boone interview, Juan Torres interview, and Melissa Sexton interview, correct?
Yes.
You reviewed the autopsy photos?
Yes.
You reviewed some of the digital forensic exhibits, including the Apple iPhone XS and a Samsung SMJ 327 T1 photographs from those 2 devices?
Yes.
Damn, Charles.
You reviewed Bates stamped discovery pages 1 through 413?
That's correct.
The crime scene photos are photos of a scene taken on June 19th of 2020.
East Coast.
Aspire Health records?
Yes.
And who do those pertain to?
Aspire Health records are for Sarah Boone.
Florida Hospital Medical Group records?
Yes.
And who do those records pertain to?
That is also for Sarah Boone.
And Aspire, is that a mental health treatment facility?
It has an emergency department record, but that would be the place where she was detained under the Baker Act.
And it is routine and common in the practice of forensic psychology or psychiatry to rely on the records of other such practitioners.
As a source of information, sure.
You reviewed the deposition of Dr. Tanya Warner.
I did.
You reviewed the trial testimony of Sarah Boone, Brian Boone, Dr. Michael Brannon, Dr. Tanya Werner, correct?
Yes.
The jury verdict form dated 10/25/24.
Yes.
Witness list notice of filing amended
Yes.
on this case. Records of Jorge Torres or George Torres involving case numbers 2019 MM 5114, a 911 call and PDF. Case 2019 MM 7193, case 2019 MM 7193, Torres Public Records.
Get to the point.
Case 2019 MM 7193, Torres Photos. Central Florida Primary Care Records, Advent Health Orlando Medical Records, correct?
Yes.
And those latter records that I just mentioned, those for Mr. Torres and not Ms. Boone, correct?
That's right.
Then you reviewed Sarah Boone written correspondence, Sarah's listing of domestic violence incidents, Sarah's writings regarding missing days of work and Baker Act, and a 74-page life story.
That's right.
74-page
And
life
then
story?
Case
Goddamn.
2018 CF 10573, public
True,
records
Duffy.
and photos. And a telephone interview with Melissa Sexton, the property manager, which you conducted on October 1st, 2024.
Yes.
And a telephonic interview with Philip Paulson, the defendant's brother, on November 26, 2024.
Yo, East Coaster.
Where has Ms. Boone been
for that.
housed and living since February of 2020?
At the Orange County Jail.
And does the Orange County Jail provide mental health services to inmates?
It does.
And you already testified you would routinely, as a forensic psychologist, review records kept of a psychological or psychiatric treatment of a patient or a client, correct?
Yes.
In this particular case, have you reviewed any mental health records generated by the Orange County Jail for Ms. Boone?
No, I have not had the opportunity to do that.
Why not?
So, for the last 58 months or so, if she was being seen by the mental health treatment staff at the jail, you have not reviewed those records?
That's correct.
And they are overseen at the jail, in the Orange County Jail, by a psychiatrist. Are you aware or not?
If the person's level of mental health intervention deems them eligible for psychiatry, then they will.
And any diagnosis or lack of diagnosis that they have had during the course of the last 58 months, you are unaware of because you did not review the records.
That's right.
I don't have any other questions.
That's
Any
it.
redirect examination.
Yeah, I would have pressed her. That's it. That's all you have.
All right, thank you.
Oh my God, with that bullshit.
Dr. Harper, I
Prosecution's
didn't ask you to
slacking.
review those records, did you?
No.
Thank you.
That's all they have?
Judge, I believe you said it at the very beginning that I had
Should destroy your
submitted
life.
several letters on behalf
Quack.
of
Quack
Ms.
psychiatrist.
Boone, and she didn't hear that, but I wanted her to be made aware.
Yes, ma'am.
And that you don't actually read those letters into the record, but you did read them.
I have reviewed them. They're in my binder here. How many do I have? Yes. Give me a second, I can tell you. I have
Nut job. Imagine you going to like get relationship advice.
I have 6 handwritten
or
letters.
marriage advice from that psycho nut job that's
First one is
co-signing a
1
murderer.
page. Second one is 2 pages.
Third
Third one is 1 page.
So she
Fourth one is
murdered
2 pages.
because
Fifth one
she
is 2
needed to
pages.
murder.
Sixth
Imagine
one
that
is
shit.
2 pages. I have
Bro,
a
lose your
typed
whole
letter
house,
from
all your
Diane
earnings
Smith,
to
the
some psycho
assistant
bitch.
chaplain. I have another typed letter from a Nicole Ray, a typed letter from a Stephanie L., a typed letter from Philip Paulson, a email from Lana Albert, 2 pages in length, and a 2-page email from a Danielle Parsons.
Okay. Yeah, got some
Thank you.
emails,
Yes, sir.
Judge, I would
messages.
like to call Sarah Boone.
You may proceed.
Whoa!
Yes,
Hold on,
please.
Sarah Boone! Okay, everybody get up! Everybody wake up! Wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. Whoa!
Somebody, he needs some milk.
Sarah
You can be seated.
Boone!
You've been previously sworn.
Oh, shit!
You may inquire, sir.
Hi.
Sarah Boone.
Now,
She's
this
so
is
sweet.
unlike a trial, so you're allowed to speak in a narrative form, as well as I understand you have taken some notes or written a letter that you want to read from, and then you want to speak to the court after that.
Yes.
Oh, she's so nice.
Why don't you go ahead and get started?
This is actually an edited version of.
Hold on a second.
She's so sweet. Thank you, the attorney, for fixing the mic. She's the victim.
I had a lot to say. I've had a lot of time to think about things, and I didn't really know how to put it on paper. And I didn't know how much I could say or how little I should say. So what I have here is, like I said, an edited version. But I would like to read the more important parts that I feel that everyone should know that wasn't said in my actual trial.
Oh.
And on top of what I have on paper, I have, this is just the tip of the tip of the tip of the iceberg. So I wanted to read this, and then if I may, I would like to address everyone in my apology on top of my statement.
Whoa. Apology. All right.
You may proceed, ma'am.
Kintu Sukuroi is a kind of Japanese ceramic style which means to repair with gold. In this tradition, when a ceramic piece breaks, an artisan will fuse the pieces back together again using liquid gold or gold dust lacquer. So rather than being covered up, the breaks become more obvious and a brilliant new piece of art emerges from the brokenness. It embraces flaws, weakness, and imperfections, and also teaches the essence of resilience. Every crack in a ceramic piece is a part of its history, and each piece becomes more beautiful because it has been broken. This is the wisdom of Kintu Sukuroi. In my wisdom and with all of my repairs, then, now, and ongoing, God is, has been, and will always be my artisan. All of my gold is forgiveness. This has held me together, made me shine brighter, and overcome the damage caused by George Torres, the Torres family, the justice system, Orange County Corrections Department, social media, scoundrel detectives, infamy, defamation, ongoing constitutional rights violations, second-degree murder, forced into being pro se.
Just as gold is very precious, forgiveness is invaluable.
Wow.
Forgiveness is not an attempt to change or forget who, what, or how you've lived through to be so gold, but an act of grace, humility, and considerable self-compassion to be set free from sorrow. Withholding forgiveness denies your brilliance and adds even greater grief and deeper heartache, irreparable cracks on top of the already that no one deserves, no matter the pain or disappointment, untruths or injustice. It doesn't matter. As the more broken you are, even though now different than before, you've become more outstanding and more extraordinary. Above all, when you let go of blame, misunderstandings, excuses, give up your anger and cease from resentment, this is forgiven. And when you forgive, you have...
That job.
And when you forgive, you heal.
That job.
And when you heal, you move forward. My goal begins with George Torres, and every time he slapped me, kicked, punched, spit on, raped, stabbed, choked, laughed at, pushed, pulled, dragged, whipped, tripped, stole from, lied, terrorized, threatened, humiliated, forced, degraded, made me cry. Every time he tried to end me, defeat, or destroy. I forgive George for beating me senseless, for trying to sleep because I had to go to work on my son's field trip the next day.
So
for ruining my deceased family's heirlooms, traditions, and keepsakes, my son's furniture, destroying the television we watched together. For wrecking our townhome by breaking windows, punching holes in the walls and doors, ramming his entire body into glass doors, kicking in my front and back door over and over and over. For breaking or removing the locks from all of the doors and sometimes the knobs altogether, so I had nowhere to feel safe, including the sacred space of my son's room where he beat me bloody on his bed. For terrorizing and threatening my blind and deaf dogs by leaving the gate open I built to keep them safe, telling me he hoped I'd find their bloated dead body in the pond or scrape their remains off of the pavement, for kicking them off of the bed and throwing across the room because they were trying to protect me. For threatening to make me unrecognizable to my son by breaking all of the bones in my face, like his brother Moses did to him after he kept seeing all of the bruises from George beating me, like all of the times their father beat their mother. For all of the drunken rages and fist fights with so many neighbors when wandering into their apartments during hunting expeditions after I had escaped. For drowning me in liquor and wine because I didn't want to drink, causing me to urinate on myself, and butting the end of the bottle in my face, giving me 2 black eyes and a bloody nose. For making me experience what it is to be sodomized. Threatening to kill my friends and the neighbors when they checked on me to make sure I was alive and in one piece. For threatening to burn down our townhome and set my car on fire because I got it.
Ever meet. Holy
for holding me
shit.
hostage on weekends, my son was supposed to come over by keeping my keys around his neck, my phone in his crotch.
Ruler minus $4.99. She's not a narcissist. Proceeds to do what no other defendant does and goes on stand. You crazy and a narcissist.
Okay.
His neck, my phone in his crotch, and a butcher knife stuck in the middle of the table.
This chick
as a
is
warning not
crazy.
to
You
ask
all
anything
crazy?
or try to leave. For stabbing me in the leg and not letting me call 911 for an ambulance or seek help.
Dude!
Where I nearly bled to death until I concocted a lie to save him from being arrested. For destroying my phone with a hammer because my son called. For me experiencing ever being arrested and after today, prison.
Ain't no sex that good. I'm sorry.
For beating me almost blind, crushing my occipital lobe. For having me experience what it means to see stars, like in the cartoons, where a character has a tall lump on their head. I had that too, and many times. For dragging me downstairs by my hair in the middle of the night just to sit next to him. For taking my car driving drunk with my debit card to buy more alcohol while I slept, even after I kindly explained the importance of my car to take my son to school foremost, me to work, and he to his batterers intervention classes and probation officer meetings, where I would be forced to sit for hours in the parking lot waiting for him. For causing me so much trauma and pain, mentally, physically, emotionally, I had to be hospitalized more than once. For destroying my reputation and integrity. For my M for murderer scarlet letter.
I'm gonna have to call you
Not
after
letting me
this.
feel safe to live, talk to other people, spend time with my son, have a job, friendships. Simply go to the bathroom with the door closed. or go to sleep soundly or comfortably. Wow. I forgive George for lying, for him trying in so many ways, so many times, to end me with his terrifying love. I also forgive the Torres family, his mother and father foremost, also his 2 ex-wives and daughters, all for knowing who George was, capable of, and has done in the past, his history of violence and where he learned it, then to keep turning a blind eye when I would ask for help. All of his siblings, including Pharrell Torres, who is now on his way to prison for stabbing the mother of their baby in the side of her head. For everyone who knew what George was doing to me, sometimes how and when, but allowed and enabled. I forgive them for caring too late. I hope they all ask themselves while quiet and comfortable in bed at night the uneasy question, what could I have done to stop this from happening to both of them? And after all the times Sarah tried to, by asking for help, from all of us and so many times.
Bitch. Fucking
Another
bitch.
great contributor of my gold is social media, with its greed, insensitivity, deception, obvious exploitation, and advantageous gain from my criminal case as a whole.
I shouldn't even let her talk.
And for sentencing me by anticipation as a result of ignorance and hate,
disrespectful.
conjured and fabricated by the organized crime that is social media, which condemned me in the court of global public opinion since the beginning. My family law case is the new prey waiting to be picked apart and pillaged from me being made infamous by social media in my criminal case. It simply seems I cannot forgive and be forgiven and move forward. Social media has made me a pariah. It has caused great oppression and undeniable disadvantages, especially by broadcasting and manipulating my cases online. In my criminal case, as a result, my opportunities to be given a fair, proper, and uninfluenced, successful conclusion
She doesn't feel guilty at all. Imagine this is your family. She does not feel an ounce of guilt. Disgusting bitch that murdered somebody and watched them slowly die. She does not feel. This is why she needs to be locked up for. She should be locked up for life. Fuck these criminal fucking people. Lock her ass up for life.
I forgive them. Also, all of the media tycoons for not having a life of their own, trying so desperately to make themselves seem so right by making me appear so wrong. Forgiveness for prejudgment, ridiculous theatrics, lies, making and taking blood money from my and others' misfortunes, accidents, and catastrophes. It's all over their hands and their keyboards. And even after all that's been said and done, theorized, hypothesized, scrutinized, and blasphemed, in my case, still no one knows me. In the end, I forgive myself for not choosing my life sooner.
I forgive myself!
For not being more brave, vigilant, bolder, and outspoken. Stronger, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. For being hopeless, desperate, simple-minded, weak, and inexperienced. I forgive myself for not realizing I was enduring a life of domestic violence
in my life.
And that the vicious cycle of never ends. I had nothing to compare to. I've never been hit by a man ever before in my life. I was raised hitting a woman was wrong and should never happen. No excuse.
Maybe you should have got hit. You're fucking
I forgive myself for not escaping permanently,
murderer.
for not fighting back sooner to save myself, my son, my dogs, home, and car. Having 20/20 hindsight, thinking of everything I could have done differently or better to avoid the outcome. I think about this every day since. Also, of all the good days we had together, for him at least, while I was constantly in hyperdrive, high alert, and paranoid, making sure I did everything right all the time. If not, the great possibility I would be ended as George threatened me with so many times before. I forgive myself for falling in love with a monster, and no matter how grotesque he may become, I still loved him, hoped, and forgave. I tried breaking the spell so he wouldn't be a monster anymore. I saw who he was inside. George made me then, now, and always love him for all of his cracks also. We made each other our own brilliant pieces of art from the cracks and repairs. Unfortunately, not all cracks can be. In all of my forgiveness, George is my greatest lesson and will forever be a part of me. I think of him every day and still speak to him when alone on the rec yard.
Oh my God.
I ask his forgiveness and that he looks for me at the gates of heaven so I can tell him how sorry I am endlessly and that I never stopped loving him.
Oh my, she loves him too.
When I first came to jail, I put my mat under my bed and cried all day and all night for months, only falling asleep from being so exhausted with grief. I wrote him letters. I wrote his family and his daughters apologizing for asking
His daughters
and asking
too?
for their forgiveness.
That's how you know
But due
you're
to fear
disgusting.
that my life or
Wow.
sons would be jeopardized, I did not send. I am sorry. I cannot begin to fathom any of their grief and sadness.
Such full of shit.
Please forgive me.
Can't with this chick. Please forgive me.
Almost everything reminds me of him, seeing my stab wound every day especially. It truly reminds me that all I really did live through. George haunts me. He is everywhere. I believe because I do still love him, think of him, and miss his laugh the most. In my heart, I know he is with me and understands that this tragedy was not intentional. I hope everyone can, his family foremost. I didn't mean for this to happen. Please wholeheartedly know that, and always, I would never.
Yeah.
Forgive me, George. Forgive me, Torres family. Forgive
Oh.
me, Judge Cranick.
Yeah.
To the entire planet, please forgive me.
The entire planet.
I graciously and humbly ask for consideration for
late.
forgiveness to be extended instead of judgment,
Too
for
late for that.
reconciliation and restoration for all of us to move forward. My apology is profuse and ceaseless. Allow me, please, to brush off the muck, wipe the blood off of my face, and fix the cuts in my skin. I ask for understanding in what really happened and for how long. For second chances, repentance, and redemption to advocate for all domestic violence survivors, to help them overcome, heal, and still hope, always, to make their voices heard, to confidently walk with all of their scars on the outside and the inside, to help them not ever become a casualty of domestic violence as so many others, to stop the abuse and maltreatment before it's too late. There is always hope, and you can survive. In my soft-spoken conclusion, I ask this. Would I be the darling mother, celebrated woman of the year, if it were I who died? How many daughters, mothers, sisters, aunts, grandmothers, nieces, and friends have been because they did? I am a survivor. Learn to do good, seek justice, rebuke oppressors, defend the fatherless, plead for the widow. Isaiah 1:17, all-encompassing, protect the abused.
Ms. Boone, is that the end of your written statement?
Yes.
Now, gathering...
How much longer are you going to keep going with
do
this
you
shit?
want to make an oral statement?
I do.
All right, would you do that now?
Yes, please. My statement, my verbal statement is primarily to the Torres family, to the judge, to his daughters.
You sick bitch. Talking to his daughters.
I know
Disgusting
you all know
as
who
fuck.
I really am, and that
Look
I
at
do
her.
care for George, and that I do still love George.
Still
I
love
know
him.
you know that we had very many good days. And I take offense to the statement of being said that this is just for a moment. Right now with me here in the courtroom in front of you all, this is just for a moment. But the moments before that, in order for me to be here, is endless. It's everlasting. The scars that I have on the inside, my outside scars have healed, except for my stab wound. But this has changed me as a person to see things differently and to understand things differently and to not be weak and just try to protect yourself and forever, regardless of the time that I may receive from today, I forever will have this experience. I forever will have George Torres with me in my heart, in my mind, my body, and my soul. As he and I used to say that we were one soul split into two bodies. This is not just for a moment. It may be for everyone in this courtroom, but when I leave, this is forever. When you all leave, that this is forever. This is forever for everyone here.
Delusional.
And
You hear this shit?
those who it matters to most. I am one of those who will experience this forever. I'm sorry. Words do not define my
She thinks
shame.
she's like,
And I don't know what else it is that I can say, and convey to the Torres family
There's nothing. Disgusting.
how this
Fuck.
happened.
Nothing. There's nothing. His kids are watching this shit, you fucking bitch.
The ifs and
There's nothing you
whys
can
and
convey.
how really don't matter. It happened, and I'm sorry.
Judge needs to give her life.
Words cannot describe.
Judge needs to give her.
And I hope that everyone can forgive me. The
She thinks
Torres
she's a
family most of
philosopher.
all, and his daughters.
Judge needs to give her
Because
life.
I know what he meant to them. And I don't think that anybody ever understood what he meant to me and I to him.
Oh, please.
And I ask for forgiveness.
Fucking nut job.
Ms. Boone, I-
Rotten hell.
2 questions, if you don't mind. And you can speak
Yo!
on it if you want.
Hoax, why you say that, man?
It's a unique case, and one of the reasons it's so unique is that you were in jail for 4.5 years prior to your trial. And I understand that when you were brought up as a child, that you did have some spirituality in your
I don't
family.
give a fuck about your spiritual awakening.
Some
I'm done
church,
with the
some
spiritual
religion.
awakening bullshit, too.
Always.
But I
Everybody's
understand
spiritually
that
awakened.
You got away
We're
from
done
that.
with this shit.
Did you have a chance during the 4.5 years to look back at your spirituality?
Absolutely.
The fuck is that? Oh, my spirituality.
No. Everyone supposes that this is one of the worst experiences of my life, and it's actually been one of my greatest. If I were not beaten to death, I was going to work myself to death on the outside, and I never had time to get back into my Bible and to pray and to be with the Lord.
All in the name of Jesus.
And I, being here incarcerated, have had time, of course, to get closer to God, to reacquaint myself to Him, and realize what it's all about. This is all temporary, and when I say temporary, I don't mean by being set free in jail or from prison or wherever else. It means being set free and temporary, meaning that you work for something higher, you work for God, that you strive for your crown to be placed upon your
All in
head
the name
by
of
Jesus
Jesus.
Christ by being said,
Yeah.
"You have done well, my good and faithful servant." I've always tried to be a good and faithful servant.
Yep.
I was just a servant as opposed to doing all that I can when my family were alive and I was going through everything up to this point. I've become so much more closer to the Lord, and it's made me such a better person, and I hope that I am an example going forward of the Lord's light and can draw many people to me because of it.
Any follow-up, State?
No, I assumed that was the final word.
Thank you. She can return back to counsel's table. Anything else from your side of the ledger, Mr. Owens?
No more witnesses, Judge, just arguments.
Okay. Anything else in rebuttal, or just proceed to argument, State?
Just proceed to argument.
Okay. All right. Once Ms. Booth's seated, you can proceed with your argument, either Mr. J or Mr. Cacciatore.
I really hope the judge, I hope it doesn't let me down.
You may proceed,
She
sir.
should be locked up for life.
Your Honor, I'm going to start my argument by what I anticipate Mr. Owens will bring up in his presentation regarding the plea offer in this case. That she was offered the resolution in this case of 15 years in the Department of Corrections to begin with. I think it's important, though, that the entire circumstance of that plea offer is put forward. And there's something very critical to that. It's not just 15 years in the Department of Corrections. It's 15 years in the Department of Corrections, but it's predicated on something. And the consideration that it's predicated on is the defendant coming to court and accepting responsibility for her actions. For her coming to court and saying, I am responsible for George Torres's death, and I accept the punishment that comes with it. That consideration was never given in this case. And because that consideration was never given in this case, the offer of 15 years in no way represents what this case is worth, or what George Torres' life is worth. That is an offer predicated on a particular circumstance, a circumstance of a first-time defendant accepting responsibility and giving every benefit of the doubt in coming to court and saying that they are ready to be punished. Those conditions were never met. So then we turn to this case, and we turn to this crime, and we turn to the actions of the defendant of taking the law into her own hands and murdering George Torres. She has never shown remorse for that. She didn't show remorse for that here today. She again painted herself as the victim. She's the victim of George Torres. She recounted the litany of evil deeds and mistreatments that he perpetrated upon her. She's the victim of George Torres' family. She's the victim of the police. She's the victim of social media. It's all about Sarah Boone. Everything's about Sarah Boone, about how she is the victim. But Sarah Boone sentenced every one of George Torres' loved ones to a life sentence. Just like she sentenced George Torres when he was in that suitcase. George Torres lived out his last nightmarish circumstance in that suitcase, begging to be let out for several minutes, which undercuts any argument that this was somehow unsophisticated. There was ample time and opportunity over and over for her to do something different. But she went forward with taking the law into her own hands and ensuring that George Torres was never getting out of there. While she went up to bed and went to sleep for hours on end. She can't say that she was in duress for the same reason. She was in such duress of George Torres that she goes upstairs and goes to sleep for 11 hours. Your Honor, there's been nothing from the testimony of Dr. Harper either that establishes any type of diagnosis that would give this court a basis to downward depart. Dr. Harper has put blinders on to the fact that she has been incarcerated for 58 months. 58 months with the opportunity to receive mental health treatment, and the expert witness is absolutely incurious about what any of those records or diagnosis or anything that would have been there would have said. There is no valid basis for a downward departure in this case. She deserves a life sentence.
Yeah, she deserves life. It's not even questionable.
Mr. Owens, response?
She doesn't feel sorrow. She's a little bitch. Went on this whole philosophical rant, 20, 30 something pages.
Just credit. First off, I want to thank you for
Disgusting
taking
in front of the family and stuff. Oh, I reached out to his daughters.
Hear the witnesses and review the letters on Sarah Boone's behalf.
Lock her ass up. What am I here? This has already gone too long already.
We've all been here for this trial. We've all been here for other trials. We've all got some age on us. We've all got some life experience on us. And this is a unique case. This was a unique homicide. It was a unique death. And as we all know, a lot of these cases are not black and white. They're shades of gray. And these crimes don't occur in a vacuum. That there's generally a history, especially involving a domestic couple, a history that comes into play that must be explored. And a lot of what Sarah Boone testified to here today probably happened behind closed doors. And we all know that many times we do not know what happens behind closed doors between a man and a woman in their home, unless there is some reason for the neighbors or law enforcement or somebody else to get involved. And that happened in this case. And so gradually over time, as this event occurred, there was an investigation, and it was learned that there was a history of domestic violence involving these two parties. And what we learned was that physically there was violence, and there were photographs to establish that, as were introduced in the trial. And then there was testimony from experts, not only the defense expert, Dr. Harper, that Sarah Boone was the victim, and she was a victim of intimate partner violence, but coupled with the fact that the state's expert testified on the stand at the trial that Sarah Boone was a victim of intimate partner violence, that she suffered from this domestic or this battered spouse syndrome at the hands of George Torres. So there's two sides to it. And in a domestic violence situation like that, 95% of the women get out of that relationship. When violence starts to occur, they've either been raised a certain way, they have a certain self-esteem about themselves, where they refuse to put up with it, knowing that it's wrong, knowing that they can do better. But there is a small percentage throughout the country that, for whatever reason, mental health issues, addiction issues, whatever it is, it's complex. Financial reasons, children are involved, whatever. If you do any studying on it, there are circumstances where there is a group of women, predominantly women, it can happen to men, but majority of the time it's a woman that gets caught in this cycle of what we term as intimate partner violence. And heard the testimony about the cycle that occurs. It's over a period of time and it repeats itself, and you go through these phases. And a lot of times the victim's not a great historian at trying to articulate it. She tried to do it here today. And I think on Sarah Boone's behalf, she is a unique individual. She's got the personality that she's got. I don't know, you heard from Dr. Harper that a lot of that was formulated based on the way her mother did not bond with her, the way that her father was the way that he was, the fact that she lost several relatives at a young age, and the trauma that can result. We heard from Dr. Harper that she did suffer from post-traumatic stress as it relates to that trauma in early childhood, and then again as it relates to the events that occurred between Mr. Torres and her. So it's complicated, Judge. It's complicated. But the jury has spoken. Sarah Boone was entitled under Florida law to present that defense, and she did. That testimony was allowed to be presented. She was allowed to testify. But the jury spoke. And so here we are today with you in a position to decide what is justice for Sarah Boone.
It doesn't excuse murdering somebody the way she did, Bill Carley.
our time together. But
it's like, I don't understand
from
why
what I
people
know,
try to give her a pass. They're both in a toxic
you try to
domestic
do the
violence
right thing.
relationship, but she can murder him and watch him die
that's what
slowly
we're
and record a
asking
video and
the
mock
court
the
to do.
family and disrespect them.
To have
like all
some
kinds of
discernment,
bullshit and but
to
they were
have
in a
some
toxic relationship, so
understanding
that's okay.
of the unique situation
I don't
that
get
Sarah
I just don't
Boone
get
found
that.
herself in. And quite frankly, Judge, this
Murder
all
somebody
didn't
because
occur
we
behind
were in a
closed
toxic
doors.
relationship, so I'm going to murder somebody and get a jail out of free card.
A lot of this was in the public eye. Mr. Torres had, I believe, 3 criminal cases before the courts of this county in which Sarah Boone was a
The
victim.
Free Sarah Boone people are supporting Carly.
Mr.
Oh, my
Torres
God.
was
God.
the accused.
Oh.
Those cases were dismissed. We know from the history of this domestic violence field that that's normal, that Sarah Boone every time either tried to bond him out or tried to get the case dismissed. At some point, somebody has to stop. Somebody has to say, wait. What's going on here?
Like, the
This
story
keeps
is
repeating.
just so like BS with
It's
her
going to get
attorney
worse.
too.
Something's going to happen.
We don't believe it. Like your bullshit story. We don't
The
believe
system failed Sarah Boone.
it. She needs to do life.
I'd ask for you to consider that.
Fuck what you're asking us to consider.
Circumstances surrounding that failure.
Serve life in rotten
and
hell.
what led us here today.
Damn, he said her haircut is amazing.
I've asked the court to consider a downward departure. I believe you've gotten a copy
Carly,
of the sports sheet.
I love you, but I guess we disagree. I feel like
Not
you were saying
since
that.
before
You didn't
trial.
say it directly, but I feel like you were implying
Is the
that.
score
Yeah.
sheet stipulated to?
So how do people
Yes,
giving these
yes, sir.
passes?
All right, you may approach. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Judge, I was provided that here today, and I believe, I can't remember the total number of months that it involves, but divided by 12,
Yeah,
I think it's
Trish
20
said they
months.
were-
20.6 is the
I
low end of the
cracked
guidelines or something about.
It's 246.0 months based on the score sheet.
I did the calculation, but I believe that the low end is
disrespect
20
in the
years.
courtroom?
I'm sorry, 20 years,
And during the
20.6 years state
sentencing?
prison. I
Wow.
believe is the low end.
Crazy.
20.5. Yes, sir.
And as the court knows, I believe it's on page 3, there are some aggravators that the court can consider in opposing the sentence, and then there are a list of mitigators that the court can consider in downward departing, meaning going lesser than the low end of the guidelines. And in the defendant's motion for downward departure, we mentioned, and I had Dr. Harper testify about 2 or 3 of the grounds, and the court needs to only find one to go below the guidelines. The capacity of the defendant to appreciate the criminal nature of her actions and to conform said actions to the requirements of the law were substantially impaired. Judge, I don't have to reiterate the facts and circumstances surrounding this event. You were here, you heard the testimony, you heard the circumstances surrounding what happened and how it happened. I would ask that you consider that as a mitigator. 2D, the defendant requires specialized treatment for a mental disorder that is not related to substance abuse or addiction and is amenable to treatment. I think it's fair to say here that we know that Sarah suffers from some mental health issues, objective mental health issues that have been opined by Dr. Harper and Dr. Werner. And you heard Dr. Harper testify about the post-traumatic stress disorder that she suffers from as it relates to this event, as it relates to her trauma that occurred in childhood. I think we heard from Dr. Werner. Dr. Werner testified that she suffered from the alcohol abuse disorder, as did Dr. Harper, but Dr. Werner also mentioned that she was not for sure about the anxiety disorder, whether it occurred prior to or because she was in the jail for the 4.5 years. However, she does require specialized treatment for the mental disorder, and she is amenable for treatment. And then third, the defendant acted under extreme duress, I think based on Sarah Boone's mindset as she testified to her today, and then you heard from the experts at the trial that when you get that anxious about what happens. Sarah testified about they would have good days where there would be no drinking or very little drinking, and then there would be other days where there was heavy drinking, and generally when George Torres got highly intoxicated is when potentially things could get violent, and that she was constantly anxious about each day that she was with him. She loved him, obviously being in a cycle like that.
She
where
loved him
where
so
love
much,
someone but can't
murdered
leave.
him and watch him
For
slowly
whatever
die.
reason, George Torres couldn't leave Sarah Boone, and Sarah Boone couldn't leave George
It's crazy
Torres.
how
It was
they try to
a
like
vicious cycle.
pass this stuff off.
But
she loved
we
him.
believe that she qualifies under that it was
Insane.
under
Insanity.
extreme duress at the time of this event. And lastly, the defense was committed in an unsophisticated manner, which was an isolated incident.
Right?
Now,
Laughing
isolated, we know, Judge, that she had one prior event in which both of them were arrested. You heard her testimony that it was during an event. They ended up downstairs next to the washer and dryer, and that she was on the bottom, and she had used her hands to try to get him off, and she had tried to choke him, and there were some marks on him. And she was arrested for I think felony domestic violence battery, as well as he was arrested. I think a few days later, both of those charges were dismissed against either party. But she has no criminal conviction record. She has never been convicted of a crime other than that event. Now, I think that can be distinguished. So we believe that it was an unsophisticated manner. Obviously, the uniqueness of this event is unsophisticated. Anybody that would calculate that they were going to murder somebody by putting them in a suitcase and letting them spend the night, and the next morning not try to dispose of the body, not try to put the suitcase in a car and go dump the body, not try to dispose of the bat, do something.
Such a good
She
person.
did nothing.
She's so good.
No attempts to
She's so caring.
tamper with evidence.
And a victim.
No attempts after the fact to uncover any conduct whatsoever. No attempts to delete the videos from her phone.
But she was
Here's my
passed
phone.
out drunk.
Voluntarily given that
The
information.
fuck? She
I think
forgot
that
she
goes to
recorded
the
the thing.
unsophisticated manner, unintentional.
So crazy.
death.
Oh my
That
god,
occurred.
yo. I just can't with these people.
I remember the first time.
God.
First time I saw
So, wait.
the suitcase video. And I
What'd
know
you
people
feel?
have differing opinions.
But I felt the sense of what?
Tony
What did you
Henderson,
feel?
my colleague, had a different
Gratification?
opinion when he saw it. But I remember the first time I saw the video, and I heard what she was saying to him. When he was saying, "Hey, Sarah, let me out. I can't breathe." Or worse to that effect.
Yeah.
And the way that she was talking to him, and the statements that she gave to him, in my mind, what has he done to her?
Oh my god. Yo!
What has
Throw him
he
under the
done
bus.
to her? Any loved one you see in a situation like that is going to run and let them out. So my thought was, obviously, they were both drinking. But what has he done to her? And I think it's telling about what she'd endured.
That's the family's there. So
It's not a clear-cut case, Judge.
The mother, the sister, it's so
It's not
disrespectful.
black and white. There is some gray. And it's up to you to decide what's appropriate based on the court's...
Piece of shit.
based
The
on
guy, the
jury's
lawyer's a
decision.
piece of shit too.
But I would ask you to temper whatever justice that you think is appropriate.
You
with
locked
some
him up
mercy.
with her. I agree
And
with that.
consider the fact that the state was willing to offer
Disgusting.
15
I've
years
never seen a sentencing
manslaughter.
like this in my life.
as a
We've
lesser
covered
included
multiple
offense,
sentencings. I've never
based
seen
on the
something like
facts and
this.
circumstances that they were aware of
Disgusting.
Prior to this trial. Thank you.
Thank you. Any rebuttal by the state?
No rebuttal? Wow. I hope the judge
Court
sees
has had
through
the
this.
opportunity to review the evidence
I
and
really hope.
testimony that was presented at trial.
I really hope.
The victim impact statements presented here today, the statements of character witnesses, both orally and in writing, Dr. Harper's report and testimony, the defendant's testimony, pre-sentencing investigation, the arguments of the state and the arguments of the defense. Court pronounces sentence as follows. Ms. Boone, court sentences you to life the Department of Corrections. With credit time served that Madam Clerk will provide to you momentarily. There are also court costs and costs of prosecution, which Madam...
Hold on. No hesitation. This disgusting, decrepit piece of shit bitch that demeaned this person the entire time during sentencing, threw him under the bus. Okay, I maybe you have to say your side of the story. Decrepit, disgusting bitch. Disrespectful. You deserve nothing less but life. In front of his mother and a daughter, talking all this shit. That's all you deserve, you disgusting bitch.
His sentence as follows. Ms. Boone, court sentences you to life.
Life!
In the Department of Corrections. With credit time served
Nasty
that
bitch.
Madam Clerk will provide to you momentarily. There are also court costs and costs of prosecution, which Madam Clerk will give you the totals of momentarily.
Disgusting.
Due to the court levying a life sentence, the court is inclined to liquidate those to a civil judgment unless I hear opposition from the state.
No opposition, Your Honor.
All right. Madam Clerk, if you could please give us the credit time served and the court costs, please.
4 years, 9 months,
The emojis.
8 days, and the court costs are $418. State prosecution.
I'm so glad he saw through that. And I feel so bad for the family. Yo, I feel so bad, especially for the mom, because I feel like the mother was trying to be a little bit nice, kind of like, I forgive. Like, I don't, did she say I forgive you? I feel so bad for this family. This bitch is so nasty and disrespectful. It went on this whole tirade and like she's a philosopher. Crazy. Nasty. Who does that?
618.
Rot in hell.
The court costs and costs of prosecution are $618. Those will be liquidated to a civil judgment.
And that's that Florida shit too. He didn't even hesitate. Life. That's it.
You will be given credit time served of 4 years, 9 months, and 8 days. You will have 30 days from today to appeal the judgment and sentence in writing. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided to you. I'm going to have the courtroom deputy provide you the paperwork. Because you've been incarcerated for the last 58 some odd months, the court is going to declare that you are indigent in this matter. I cannot appoint the public defender to represent you as they are conflicted out. Similarly, I cannot appoint the regional conflict counsel to represent you for the same reasons. The clerk will appoint an attorney from the conflict wheel who specializes in appellate litigation. And again, you'll have 30 days from today to appeal that judgment and sentence in writing. Do you have any questions for me? You will now be remanded into the custody of the Orange County Jail to transfer you to the Department of Corrections, and I wish you the best of luck.
I'm so happy about that.
State, anything further?
I'm so happy.
No, Your Honor.
Defense, anything further?
Thank you, Judge.
Right. Thank you all very much.
I'm so happy about that. I understand he has to hear all the sides and arguments, but I'm so glad he saw through her bullshit. You deserve life. You deserve life and nothing less. Life. Lock her ass up. I just like I was trying to like almost put myself in the family's shoes. Like this chick is so nasty, disrespectful. I agree that it was a mutually abusive relationship. I agree with that. But instead of like pleading and like, I'm sorry I did this, I'm sorry I did that, she shitted on the guy the whole time. And even mentioned, I reached out to his daughters because she's a manipulative bitch. I reached out to his daughters. She probably want to turn his own kids against him. Disgusting hoe. And you don't look good at all. You're thin hair. You're fucking bobblehead. Disgusting bitch. I reached out to his kids. No, you deserve life in prison. And I went off today. Whatever. You deserve life and nothing less. Rotten hell. We've been waiting for this forever. How long have we been talking about Sarah Boone? Lock her up. Don't ever let her out. And she's still smiling. She's still smiling. Yo, you saw that? Her ass is still smiling. Look at her, smirking, smiling. Isn't that crazy? Still smiling. Still smiling. Isn't that crazy? Wow.
She's on her way.
Okay. Can you just give me a heads up when they get her here?
Yeah, I got you.
I gotta go down and see her real quick.
All right.
Start.
Lock her up, throw away the key. Done. And wait till I come back on Twitter later. I have to wait a couple hours. I see this little pussy guy that's a child abuser talking shit about me. Yo, imagine you have people that are child abusers talking about you. I'm gonna fire on his ass. Once my thing is lifted, this little pussy, I want to fire on your ass. You're a child abuser, and I've called this guy out multiple times. He has nothing to say, and now he's trying to dox me. Yeah. So wait till they lift the ban later, because I'm gonna fire on your bitch ass. That's unrelated though. It's unrelated to right now the stuff.
Yes. Do you mind
They're going to go ahead and get the assigned copy before she leaves. Oh, is that it?
Child abuser coming from me. Okay.
Is this it? Not the one?
No.
Literal child abuser coming from me. Child abusers and accused rapists coming from me on Twitter. That's wild. Wild. Wait till they lift my ban.
All you gotta do is sign.
I'll fire on this motherfucker. Wilson. You crazy, man. I'm just waiting. I think it says, let's see, it says 3 hours. I'm waiting till the ban is lifted because the people reporting me. I'm waiting till it's lifted. But yeah. Sarah Boone up. Crazy. Yeah. I've never seen so crazy. I've never seen a sentence like this before. Like this chick reading pages and going on this whole like whatever. Sarah Boone. I just want you to know he's a piece of shit and he's no good. Oh.
Okay, so he hasn't signed it. I'll give you a...
You got life.
But,
I'll be careful. Why should I be careful? He admitted he's a child abuser. It's our video. It's literally coming out of the person's mouth. Why do I need to be careful about that?
Yeah.
But I'm not. Maybe he didn't mean that, Emily. Maybe I'm interpreting it. But like I'm telling you, these people that are coming for me, child abusers and alleged rapists, coming for me. By the way,
that's the female.
Okay. Yeah. Mustard Mama, thank you for the 20 memberships. Oh my God! Hold on, I gotta add something special for you. Hold on. I hope you're still watching. Hey! Thank you for the memberships. Appreciate that. Hangnail. True, Stace. Yeah, JLR put that up. JLR's, yeah, he's out there. He's good. Fuck that guy, JLR. He's out there. Wait till I fire on his ass later. And I was sending super chats to some live stream last night. Somebody told me about some live stream, and they had nothing to say. Turtle Boy, Pussy, and Claire, like they had nothing to say. I was multiple super chats. But yeah, and they want to try to like silence me. So crazy, they want to silence me. Alleged rapists and they made a child abuser want to silence me. Crazy.
But he said he was giving her some heat. I thought it was a civil thing.
Sarah.
He had 45 attorneys for each side, for each division. Yeah, we don't. All right, I do know that. That's right. I know she's coming in. She's great. She's professional. She's smart. She's talented. And
Sarah. I've never seen a sentencing like that in my life. It was so crazy. I was like shocked. I was like, oh my God. Who said that about you? Nobody said that about me. They have nothing on me. The only thing they have on me, because I had a bad haircut. So the only thing these losers have is like a bad haircut. And I don't know what else. They have nothing. These criminals, they have nothing on me. These people that are arrested multiple. I've never even been arrested. But they, oh, were you ever arrested? No, I've never been arrested. But these alleged rapists and child abusers want to come from me. The fuck? Yeah, so later today, if you don't follow me on Twitter, I'm firing off on Twitter later. Once I'm unbanned. And this dude went to be like, oh, who are you? I don't know who you are. Even though I posted the whole history of this guy commenting on my page multiple times. He knows who I am.
I was telling you before, it was Jared and Faye both leading in the same division.
Emily, I appreciate that. I know you don't. I know it's because I don't want those dirtbags. That's what life. I appreciate that, but if somebody comes to see me in real life, there's going to be consequences for that too. If they want to come see me, it's Florida, FAFO. If you want to come see me, come see me and see what happens. Come see me.
Well, they have plans for that because they moved David and Webb.
Yo, hold on. Is Sarah's handcuffs pink? She got pink handcuffs? Sarah Boone? Oh, okay. Oh, I think she got pink. She looks. She got pink handcuffs.
You don't have to, no. Because if the mayor was here.
I guess that's it. Great seal of the state of Florida. In God we trust. What's good pizza in Florida I'm visiting? Honestly, listen, I like Papa John's. I know it's kind of stereotypical, but I feel like Papa John's has really good pizza. And then I also like Morrow's Pizza. Morrow's Pizza? It's in Hollywood. Really good pizza too. I mean, the pizza's amazing. If you want to check them out, Morrow's Pizza, Papa John's, John's Pizza too is good. Oh, there's another place. Okay, there's another place I actually really love. Giant Pizza. Giant Pizza is really good. Really, really good. One of my favorite pizzas, Giant Pizza. There's a couple of places. I know. I said Papa. I know. Yeah. But yeah, Giant. I think Giant Pizza is really. Stand out from Rhode Island, really?
Like, I don't even have to say your name. Like, she know who I be talking about. I don't be talking about nobody else, but I ain't gonna hit you on that motherfucker, like, ever. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, everything really good, though.
Yeah. I'm like, I heard that shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
I don't even know what they're saying. Yeah. Sean, I'm gonna hit you up. Gotta go finish water changes, but yeah, hit me up with the CO2. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna hit you up because my tank is really the CO2 tank I have is really it's almost empty. But I'm still I feel worried about just opening it. I don't want it to explode. And so but I read on Reddit somebody was like, "Oh, you just twist open the safety valve," but I don't know. So I'm gonna. So I was like, I was actually thinking of hitting you up about that, how to properly, change out the CO2 tank.
Yo, folk.
Yeah. I was there with him yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got out of town.
What is it? What are we watching?
Come back. I was gonna lie with
what is this?
Yeah. You talked all night. That was night crazy, bro.
Yeah, I just talked to her today. I talked to her today. I was telling her, I'm like, he on the cell phone, like, he probably be over there, like, what not? She's like, what? So you think you gonna tell on me? I'm like, man, hell nah.
Shit crazy. I don't even be texting that back no more.
I should be texting.
Yo, hopes, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even be responding to that crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm finna get bro back his phone, right? I'm gonna get up with you though.
I do that, man. I got you.
Right,
the hell is this?
Alright.
All right, then the next item that you all wanted.
All right, I'm gonna get off for now, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and the whole Sarah Boone thing. I've never seen a sentencing like that before. Crazy. I've never seen some shit like that. It's fucking, I don't know. Wild. But anyway, it's still early, and we'll see what happens later today. It's still super early. Might get a chase, might get a standoff. Who knows? Oh, or in 3 hours when they unban me from Twitter. So weird, Twitter banning me. What the hell? The free speech platform banning me or suspending me. It's like, what the hell? I don't know. Those little turtle people, they're all like trying to get in their kicks right now because I can't respond to these fucks. So they're all saying shit. I can't wait. Anyway, take care. Free Sarah Boone says Carly is right, Akid Bell wrong. That's fine. I have no problem with Carly. I mean, we can disagree sometimes. That's fine. But all right, I'll catch you guys later. Take care. Peace. Bye. Adios.